Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan at an amazing price with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-353-9900. That's 800-353-9900.
Serving on a jury is your constitutional right. So when you get your jury summons in the mail, respond and put your rights to work. It's really that simple. Arizona has increased juror pay. If your company doesn't pay for jury service and you're picked to serve in Superior Court, you will get paid your lost wages up to $300 per day. Our courts are fair because you are there. Learn more at azcourts.gov/jury service. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
K2FN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CDV at 99.3 FM. K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be along shortly. I don't know, maybe the 4 o'clock hour. I don't know when he's showing up, but he said he'll be here when he gets here. That's what he said. So get off my back. Keon Rose is in the control room. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Well, that was embarrassing. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. What else needs to be said?
That was embarrassing. I overestimated how badly we could all be disappointed. So we will get to that in more depth here in just a moment. But I promised Rye Guy last Friday. Now, last Friday, Rye Guy, a guy who hadn't texted in a while because he said that life got busy and he was on planned trips out of town, that sort of thing. So we hadn't heard from Rye Guy. He came in very excited about something, but we were like right in the middle of I don't remember what, and it was like, oh geez, we'd love to talk about that, but we can't. And he got a little bit aggravated with me because I did kind of blow it off, and then he's like, no, you didn't read the whole thing, and then I apologized. And I promised we would talk about it first thing on Monday. So that's what we're going to do before we get into anything else. First, I'll read his original text so you know what the hell he was talking about, because it became very interesting after I did. I went down the rabbit hole myself trying to sort this out, and it's actually kind of interesting. He says, "Aloha, muchachos. Long time no text. Sorry, life got very busy unexpectedly and left on a planned trip out of town." On the run from the law, no doubt. Anyway, I came across what looked like a fun movie from 2017, and I wanted to ask if any of you guys had seen Tar Wars. It's about George Brett's pine tar incident. Also, can't find the damn movie anywhere online, just a trailer on its making. So I did look into that, right, guy. I did look into that. So now here's what it's supposed to be about. July 23rd, 1983. George Brett went nuts. He went absolutely nuclear. The whole incident was very bizarre. Top of the ninth home run in the Bronx. Initially, it was a game winner for Kansas City, but the game was under protest because, along with tossing Brett out of the game, the umps disallowed his potentially game-winning dinger. He went through the courts. Took about 2 months to finish the bottom of the ninth and complete the game after overruling the call, re-allowing the home run, and giving Kansas City the win. There was a movie about the entire weirdest game in Major League Baseball history that came out in October of 2017. I want to watch the damn thing if I can find it, he says. Well, I'm sorry to explain this to you, but there is no movie. I went poking around on the websites that actors use to list their stuff, and it turns out it was just a mockumentary by, remember Champ Kine from Anchorman? The bald fella?
Mm-hmm.
David Ketchner. And he made a mockumentary about the making of the movie Pine Wars. And it was just a joke. The whole thing was just never intended to be a real movie. So unfortunately, for a real sports fan like Rye Guy, there isn't a real movie. All you get is the making of, which is made up and not just, it's all for comedy. It's all for laughs. So, so David Ketchner, you want to find that, I think you'll find it on YouTube or YouTube TV, the funny making of thing, but sorry, no real movie.
That's a little disappointing. It's a very interesting story. I would watch it.
It's worthy of 30 for 30.
Yeah,
it's not worthy of 2 hours of movie.
Not like 2 hours of movie, but if you've got or if it's a documentary with just so much more, you've got a bunch of people who were there and all that. I would watch that. I think that's interesting, but this is probably disappointing.
I might get bored and walk away from it because it took months for them to sort out. Rye Guy says, it was the strangest game in baseball history. So weird. Someone actually made a movie about it. I just want to find this thing. And well, we can't help you because it does not exist. Isn't that disappointing?
Very.
After all that. So like Friday, I was like apologizing to Rye Guy. And I was like, man, I'm really sorry. We were in the middle of something. And he's like, well, you're always in the middle of something. And I've seen this show take left turns like nobody's business. Like a drunk driver going down the highway. And I'm like, that is true. That is true. But we were also running out of time. And I had no idea what the hell you were talking about. So now I've made good on my promise. But now I want to see the mockumentary. So look that up. That is worth looking up. The Pine Tar Incident, Making of Tar Wars from 2017. I looked up where can you see even this. And it says YouTube TV, or let's see here, Peacock. No, that's a different movie. Tar is just Tar by itself. That's nothing to do with Tar. Is not what we're talking about. The Tar Wars, Pine Tar Incident, Making of Tar Wars, and hell, I think I just found it here. We just hit play on Vimeo. I could post this probably on Twitter. And you can just watch it there. So anyways, it exists, Rye Guy, except for it's not really real. It's one of those fake documentaries. So, all right. I wish we actually had more to explain or talk about, right, Guy? Because I just don't want to talk about the Suns right now. I just don't. I knew they were not going to win this series. It was done. It was over. I knew this 2 games in, not 3 games in. I knew it was over. I just wanted 1 game. So now the Lakers had a better postseason than the Suns. And that just doesn't seem right.
I mean, I
don't
guess.
care about the Timberwolves. In fact, I like a bunch of the players on the Timberwolves. It's hard not to like them, even though they're cocky sons of bitches you like to poke in the eye. But outside, they seem like good guys. Seem like some pretty good. I'm not mad at the Timberwolves. I'm mad at the Suns. I'm mad at the guy who bought them, blundered in, and just did dumb things. When his GM, I'm sure, was like, "We shouldn't do that, sir."
Maybe had some misgivings about it. Well, he did.
Shouldn't do that, sir.
He did. Those reports came out, middle of the season, that James Jones was not exactly thrilled about moving all of these players he himself drafted to try out and go and make the team faster,
right?
Or
and
better,
it felt
faster.
Like we were building something there. It's like DeAndre Ayton was a disappointment, but the other guys were growing. They were doing better and better every time you looked, and it was exciting. And I was like, I like these guys. I don't want to get rid of these guys. But then I was like, well, if that's what it takes to win a championship, then we were trusting in James Jones, not realizing new stepdaddy Ishbia was really the one pulling the strings as hard as they're getting pulled. So
and including stuff like Vogel asked for a point guard, and the answer was no, because you're going to take the ball out of the hands of the playmakers.
Point guard, schmoint guard.
That is my biggest complaint about this team, is that they don't have one. And I assume there was some plan here, and apparently ownership said no.
So there was no point guard, and outside of even that, didn't feel like there was any real good, solid leadership. You never felt like there was that voice.
You're missing a lot of things. Yeah, it's like leadership is absolutely important, especially in an NBA locker room, because getting those guys to come together and get over their mistakes and not dwell on the past and everything you actually need on the floor to get guys mentally locked in for play to play. Coach didn't have it. The stars didn't have it. None of the bench guys have it. That's just not what this team is constructed like. And apparently there was no plan beyond get good players.
On paper, boy, it looked good. Well, you got some stars there, and you got $150 million going to 3 guys. How could that go wrong? No, but it did. It looked right on paper. But I told you from the very beginning, some don't feel quite right here. That's great to have these guys, but what we gave up, some of what we gave up, that's just intangible. It was hard to explain, and now you see, here it is. That's it. We just got blown out of the damn playoffs like it didn't exist.
I knew that there was obviously a chance of risk. Like, this isn't something that you do, making the drastic moves that the Suns did, unless you're willing to take the risk that it may not work out. But this is beyond not work out. Like, this is you're in the first round, you play a team you haven't lost to this season, and then they sweep you. Like, that is outside of the range of not working out and into this could be a disaster territory.
Can I blame one player? I don't
know if you can, but sure.
Bradley Beal. None of this is all his fault. But if I looked at a player who underperformed and disappointed throughout, the very short time we were in the playoffs, Bradley Beal. He never got going.
But neither did Booker.
Booker did finally get going in the last game.
Yeah.
He got going. I mean, I'll tell you what, the best game they played was last night, and it still it came up short. But, Kevin Durant, he played 46 minutes, had 33 points. Booker played 45 minutes. That's right. Lazy bastard got 1 minute off, and he got 49 points.
Yeah, but when with Booker, the thing is always interesting to me.
When does he go off? Is it at 80 points for you? I mean,
for me, it's not 80. It's and he played his best game, but I always just look at some of the shots that are just taken, and it's just he takes a lot of shots sometimes. Not last night, but
Yeah.
like in this series.
In the
he
series,
took-
no,
he
you're
took-
right.
He takes a lot of shots. So he'll get his 30, he'll get his 35,
Okay.
and it'll take him 28 shots to do it. Those are shots other people aren't taking.
Well, the problem is when Beal was taking shots, he was not doing well. 4 out of 13 last night. And if you go back through the series, similar numbers throughout all 4 games. That wasn't because he didn't get the ball enough from Booker.
Yeah.
That's because he is the one out of the 3 that fell flat. But you got 3 big. You got $150 million involved. If Booker has an off night, well, you have to imagine Beal's going to step and Kevin Durant's going to step up. Kevin Durant has a bad night. Beal and Booker step up. Beal never stepped up.
Yeah, it didn't really happen. Granted, he's also the only guy that's really playing the most out of his position. He's not a point guard. He's played some. He can do it at times. I just don't know that that's what you want for your team constantly. Like you could figure out a way, I guess, to make this work, but then all the other conditions have to be perfect. And the moment Grayson Allen went down, all the conditions were in fact not perfect. Like that's a big problem. But yeah, Bradley Beal absolutely underachieved. I don't think that there's really much getting around that. That he did not play up to a high level, and there were other games throughout the regular season where the points weren't there, but he was doing all of these other things that elevated the team. And I would say for most of this series, that those things didn't show up much either. So it just disaster.
Huge disappointment. And I just wanted one game.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. And I thought
just look like a professional basketball team for a game in the postseason.
Maybe we'll get one. And of course, when you are up 6 at halftime, I was like, it's over. That's it. They needed to be up by a lot more.
Like 10 or 12.
Yeah, and the Timberwolves were playing tired and they gave them the chance to do that, but then the Suns could not push the gas pedal down. And listen, we don't need to, we all saw it. We don't have to keep going over it. And we also don't need to talk about by the way, Bradley Beal has said, I'm sure that looked worse on video than I got no problem with the coach when he walked by and the Vogel's like, hey, high five. And he's just like, get that out of my face. Yeah, it looked bad, Bradley Beal, because it was bad. You can't just brush that off like, oh, did I do that? No, we're good. I didn't mean anything by it. Yeah, sorry. It's all very obvious on the video, the way you reacted. And you know what? Hey, if you want to blame him, that's fine. We're going to blame him too.
Yeah.
But that was a bullcrap move on Bradley Beal's part. Is very disrespectful.
Yeah, and I don't know how they're handling that. I'll leave that to them. I'm not going to sit here and do the because I don't know what their relationship is like and whether or not they have the kind of relationship where you can go back and go, man, I didn't mean for that to come across that way. You're frustrated because you're getting your ass swept out of the playoffs. Like you're not going to be perfect in the moment, and you're going to say or do something very stupid.
Well, it doesn't matter because there's a contract and there's $50 million there. Oh, the guy without the contract, everybody's saying that Durant and Booker are like, they're going to get rid of Vogel. I don't know about that.
I don't
think they are going to be the ones doing anything.
I don't think they're going to do it, but I think that their input matters. And I do think that
on the other end of that. And I think Ishbia is the one's like, yeah, he's got to go.
Yeah. And also Matt Ishbia is kind of basketball fanboy. He's like the NBA fan that's living the dream of I own a team now. So yeah, you're going to consult the stars. Like these are the guys that you want to have kinds of conversations with.
But you hear Vogel says, "Oh no, I got the complete support of the owner. We're good."
I've heard that many times from many coaches.
Usually it's from the owner. They've got my full support. I want him on a bus tomorrow.
He might even believe that.
Oh look, how predictable. Here's Ralph from Harmon Solar.
Yeah.
He says, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. They have no big inside physical presence, and they were absolutely dominated on the boards by the Timberwolves. They need to fix that, but unfortunately, with no draft picks and being cap poor, they are in trouble. Yeah, all they can do is trade one of these big 3, and I think we all know which one we'd like to see go, but he'd be the hardest one to broker out. And they make some changes. I mean, it's funny, during the season, Nurkic, on and off, he did what we needed him to do. but he just wasn't consistent enough. And when it mattered, he wasn't really any good. I don't want to use Ralph's word mediocre. I just I've heard that word way too much.
And by his own logic, his team is too. So like, that doesn't matter. I'm not concerned about the Lakers. I spend no time thinking about the Lakers except when Ralph is here and we're laughing at him. So with the Suns, I'm just like the future. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, I'm worried about is I got to get rid of that damn Lakers got swept gift that's on my Twitter for the last year. Now I got to put something else there.
Nice chuckle there for a little
bit.
I'm
going to miss that. I thought I was going to get to have it another year.
Gonna have to throw a Dodgers thing up there.
Oh, that's right.
They lost the Diamondbacks. Yeah.
Oh, did that happen today already?
I mean, not today, but
I was going to say that game, but yeah,
but I mean, in the
swept
playoffs.
them in the I'll find a sweep in the Dodgers.
So you can,
place.
Yeah, that's just.
Of course, watch my karma. They're playing the Dodgers tonight. And
that's gonna.
I don't think I want to mess with that.
Maybe wait until after the series is over.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Silver Pop says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Happy Elimination Monday." It's not.
Well, it's not happy. Yeah.
Jeffrey, sir, you owe Suns fans an apology. Your karma jinxed us. How is it my karma?
What?
Not the coach, not the players. Your karma for giving it to Ralph. In fact, your karma made the Lakers win. Oh, I doubt that.
Made the Lakers.
Nah. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't buy that. I made no grand predictions. I just said the only thing I said was I just can't see the Suns getting swept. I think that they're going to lose this series, but I thought there's no way they get swept. Okay, well, I guess there's a way they got swept. That wasn't karma.
Corrected on that. Yeah, like that's not. You can't jinx a team that's down 3-0 in a series. And as for the Lakers, they'd lost to the Nuggets 11 times in a row. Just statistically, something had to give.
Mm-hmm. So no, Silver Pop, you can blame me all you want. Then there's always me over here just not giving a crap because I will take it when I think I deserve it. If my karma, if I say a thing and because I have in the past where I said it's a lock and then oh boy, I learned to never say that again. And then I've threatened to say it and it's upset very many people, but no,
it's just the idea.
My opinion on this whole thing was not so strong that you actually get to put the blame on me. Fifth Letter, who is a Lakers fan, says, blame that perimeter defense. And he says, go Lakers. Yeah, go. They'll probably go tonight. They'll go
home
right to Cancun with the Suns. Berg says, I hope I missed the Donnie victory celebration. I figured 10 minutes in is a good time to listen. No, I'm not going to read his text today. It's kind of like on Twitter when I got kind of tired of it, I just hit mute.
Yeah.
See, I don't have to delete Donnie. I don't mind Donnie, but if I get tired of his crap, I mute. There. Yeah. I don't see him anymore. It's great. And here on the text line, if I don't want to hear his jibber jabber, see how I haven't read anything? Self-mute.
Yeah, personal mute. In fact, it's even better than Twitter mute because you're just choosing.
Yeah.
Every single time you send something in, you're just choosing to mute him again.
I don't like somebody at work, I can just walk right past them in the hallway. Don't even have to say a word to them. Don't care. Don't care. That's a great thing. I'm not one of these people who has to respond. I'm like, oh, there they are. Well, let them enjoy being there. I'm just over here. Mute. No problem.
Yeah.
So I'm going to save you from that, Berg. We're not gonna play that game today. When we come back, though, there's a couple of things we do need to talk about when it comes to the Suns and the future and that sort of thing. But then we'll move on. And yeah, I'm sure that we want to break down what happened in the draft. And Randy will be back. And, we'll completely forget how the Suns have once again just brutally disappointed us. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks home tonight in Phoenix as they take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tommy Henry getting the start for Arizona. James Paxton will go for L.A. The Diamondbacks getting a run and a half, minus 137 on the run line. The Dodgers minus a run and a half, plus 114. L.A. is minus 134 on the money line. The Diamondbacks plus 114. The over-under run total sitting at 10. The over minus 120, while the under is minus 102. Arizona is 2-3 over their last 5 games. Dodgers are 4-1. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel. Not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise in the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So so last night happened, and right there towards the end of the game, old Chris Finch gets taken out by Mike Conley. By the way, Chris Finch is the coach of the Timberwolves, and Mike Conley is that beardy guy who plays for the Timberwolves. And Booker kind of shoved him, and then Conley went out of bounds, and then he swept the leg on his own coach. Took out his patellar tendon. That's what it is now. Torn patellar tendon on Chris Finch. So let's just say he'll have a limp for the rest of the playoffs and whatever happens next for the Timberwolves. So I've never had a torn patellar tendon. Can you stand around coaching with that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know you have to get a knee brace, and I know it's probably an outpatient surgical procedure to reattach that tendon because it won't heal naturally on its own very well. So what's going to happen next for these Timberwolves? Now they're, I guess a quarter of their coaches down.
Probably the assistant coach is going to move into the head coaching spot until Finch is able to return, and there'll probably be crutches involved when he when he comes back, whenever that is.
We just put him in a little wheelchair. I mean, you can coach from sitting as much as you can. I mean, Steve Kerr does most of the game sitting. You know, he'll stand up and yell at people, but he sits. I've noticed almost the whole game.
Yeah, and he might just do that. It might be one of those things where you just, if the coach has a habit of moving around, restrict the habit so he doesn't re-injure himself. But nothing says you have to actually be on your feet.
Well, he won't be on his feet long because I'm not sure the Timberwolves will be in the playoffs long. So, past the Suns, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to talk crap when you just got swept.
It's 4 straight games, and you're like, oh, well, you're not going anywhere after this.
Yeah, you sons of bitches. With a great defense and some really great talent.
Yeah.
Damn it. Anyway, I don't know who's going to beat the Timberwolves, but they will, because Donnie can't have nice things. That's all. So if they fire Frank Vogel, do you think they're going to fire Frank Vogel? Frank Vogel doesn't think they're going to fire Frank Vogel, but do you think they're going to fire Frank Vogel?
I actually don't know, but I do think he should be a little worried about it. Like they're clearly going to think about it and have those conversations because the fact is he didn't quite do his job either. And that's, you know, you don't get swept out of the playoffs because one player didn't play well. You got swept out of the playoffs because of a combined lack of everybody living up to what their job and their goal was. And Frank Vogel, his leadership left a lot to be lacking. You know, your team doesn't have that voice. You can be that voice. You are the coach. And I also just think that, like, offensively, I don't know if there was just a failure to implement the game plan, or the players just weren't listening. But whatever is going on there, like, the coach is somewhat responsible for that, or making that happen. And if you can't do that, maybe your personality just doesn't fit. It doesn't have to be any negative reason. Then they're going to have to find somebody who can.
Chief Skull says, I said I didn't like trying to buy a championship, and this is the outcome. You build a team. You don't buy it. Well, you can do both. You just have to do it right. Yeah. And I guess the choices were not the correct ones. But, you know, the thing that saves Vogel is if Vogel and Jones convince Ishbia, it's only because we didn't have a point guard. Yeah, if they can get away with that argument, then maybe Vogel buys himself another year.
It helps a lot to have a guy playing that position, because now you're not concerned with, you know, playing this isolation basketball, which is what the Suns were doing for a lot of this series, and it was not working. Just Kevin Durant's got the ball. Everybody stand around and watch Kevin while he tries to break his guy down and then doesn't. Devin Booker's got the ball. Same thing. And obviously less of it with Beal, but same deal. And you're just like, the ball's got to move around. You've got to create angles and lanes and space by moving the basketball around, by screening people to create mismatches. Like, those are the things that you have to do. Easier to do when you have a point guard. This team doesn't have it, but that doesn't mean that that's their only problem. It is a big one, though.
Davey Brad says, greetings, Keon Rose and Keon Rose. Yeah, I forgot to change my name on the YouTube video. You know, it's a small detail, and you know better. He says, getting ready to fly out Thursday and watch my nephew pitch and get to meet my sister for the first time. Just whatever you do, don't be weird. You know, so try to be normal. Try to act as normal as you can. I mean, that's great advice, but you give it someone like Navy Brad now, he's just going to stress about it the whole time.
Yeah, you're more. He's less likely to act normal now that you've told him to act normal. Yeah, just
it's very important that you just act normal, Brad.
If you have to think about acting normal, you're going to act weird trying to act normal.
So I think this is one of those weird Suns bots, but it says Sun stands. I think it means fans. Suns fans say keep Booker and time to trade Durant, which is the only way my Suns can get better with no picks because of Bozo Beal acquisition. I really want to know who's behind these stupid Suns bots.
I want to know too,
because I've already not read several of them, and Donnie. Fifth letter says, I'll take 5 competitive games against the defending champs any day. Suns got their ass kicked all 4 games. Oh, you got your asses kicked 4 games too. You just happen to have LeBron James. And I say what you will about LeBron James. LeBron James is that sort of special unicorn. I'm not putting him on Michael Jordan level. If there is the argument about who's better, I'm always going to say Michael Jordan. But LeBron James can will things into being, and that's what he did that game. And all the other cylinders were firing the way they wanted them to. Probably won't happen again. And another bot. Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't know if you're real or not, but out of kindness, I will read this text until I know you're not real. Life of a Zona sports fan to get excited about title contending Phoenix Suns only to see them swept by freaking Minnesota. Brutal. Yeah. I don't know anybody who calls us Zona. So I really already think you're fake.
Yeah. It's just, I've never heard that, but to be fair, I haven't been here as long as you.
Just saying. So who do you think would be a good coach replacement for Frank Vogel? Sports Illustrated threw 3 names up. JJ Redick. Yeah, why not? How about someone with no experience? Yeah, okay. None. Not even as assistant. Just put JJ Redick in there. Why not? Mike Budenholzer. I'm intrigued. He's got a record of 484 and 317, but
he's a smart guy. It's just all the reasons that the Suns, and Suns fans wanted Monty out of here. Budenholzer is that. Just so you know.
Mark Jackson.
I'm not a Mark Jackson fan. I am not a Mark Jackson fan. I think the leadership aspect he would do amazingly. The X's and O's, making adjustment parts of that, not so much. Not a Mark Jackson fan personally.
So that's it. That's all they threw out there. The three ideas. Is this like somebody trying to make a point? And the point being, you want better. Unfortunately, better is not out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's that, and of course, Kevin Young, who was on the staff, that maybe they thought about hiring him to be the head coach. He's off at BYU now, so you don't even have the in-house option available to you anymore, because he took a head coaching job in college. So this is tough. It's genuinely tough.
So we don't know what they're going to do about a coach, and then if they do if they do something about the coach, we don't know who would be a good one out there. It'd probably be somebody we haven't thought of yet. But then what would you do with the players? All right, Keon Rose, you are the Suns GM right now. Who do you get rid of to try to achieve what you think needs to be done? Who do you get rid of? Who do you try to bring in? I mean, I know it's hard because you don't know who all the free agents are and all the different tangibles, but who? What do you think you would do here?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because I think that the worst fit on this team of the three guys in the big three is Bradley Beal. So you'd want to realistically move Bradley Beal. Contract is so prohibitive that the only way that you really could do it is if Milwaukee were equally unhappy with what they got out of Dame Lillard. And then you could just 1-for-1 it, basically, because their contracts are equally gigantic and ridiculous.
Well, Dame Lillard's not working there. Why would he work here?
He's a point guard.
Oh,
he can score and he's great at it.
Well, you should get on the phone.
But he addresses the problem. He gives you a guy that contract wise matches 1-for-1. But it just depends on, because what the Bucks had a problem with was the lack of defense from Dame Lillard. He's just not a great defender, and not for the lack of trying. He's just never been a good one. And I think that maybe Beal adds something to that, as far as when Beal was playing good defense for the Suns, he looked pretty solid. And also he doesn't require having the ball nearly as much. I think he could be a true second option, more so than what he wound up being here, which was somewhere between 2 and 3. And he just never found his spot. So it could work for the Bucks as well. But again, they'd have to be like really, really displeased with the Lillard thing. Because without that, then obviously you can't do that. I think the Durant deal is the shortest one. So that's probably the most realistic of the big three you can move if you want to.
Yeah, you want to try to keep him and Booker, but
I'm just saying I think it's either the three of them or Durant.
Ralph says he feels bad for Durant, gives him all, and he just isn't enough around him. Maybe let him get out and make a run with a real contender. Oh, kiss my ass. He's already got his championship.
Yeah,
we're not letting him go.
Yeah, no, and you know what, you wanted to be here, you forced a trade here, you're here. Like, that's just what that is. The only reason you let Durant go is if you're like, all right, of all the guys on our team currently making $50 million a year, which one of the 50 mil can we break up into smaller contracts so we can get more players? And Durant's the one that you can actually move. I don't want to. That's not my preference. I'm just saying, as far as the numbers go, that's the option that makes the most sense.
It's just like with Suns luck. You sign Grayson Allen to an extension, and he immediately gets hurt. It's just a bunch of these little dumb things. I'm not saying that's why we lost, but it's just
it's probably why you got swept, though. I mean, I can't imagine with his ability to stretch the floor, you couldn't have won a game. But if your entire postseason hinges on Grayson Allen is healthy or not, maybe you didn't build your team well.
So do we back all this up to the doorstep of Matt Ishbia? Are you going to say it's all because of Matt Ishbia? It all originated there. We shouldn't have got Beal. We should have done something else. We shouldn't have done this. We should have done something else. And if you, for one moment, think Matt Ishbia is not the guy making the decisions, well, you dumb. Because he is. He's absolutely the guy who walked in the minute he plopped down his billions of dollars and says, I want one of those. I want one of those. I want one of those. And he got them. He got them all. Luxury tax be damned. And here we are. So do you blame him 100% for the issues?
I don't want to say 100% because, again, players got to play and like your coach has got to figure out ways to make up for his weaknesses and all of that. But yeah, like it's a big part. I don't blame the front office for the stuff that they've done. They did what the owner wanted.
Yeah. By the way, front office is code for Ishbia.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the front office is actually supposed to be headed by James Jones. He's the leader and then everybody reports to him. But then there's an extra level of Jones then has to turn around and report to Ishbia. And when he showed up, and I don't think that it was a secret, he had a win now mandate. He wanted the Suns to be competitive right now. And he mortgaged the future for it. I just think that how is that not majority his responsibility? James Jones was building the team one way. Matt Ishbia shows up, and all of that work, the years of bringing in all of these different players through the draft, which is where the NBA wanted to go. They've tweaked the rules over time to make it much more beneficial for teams who are building through the draft and less beneficial for teams who go out and try to trade and pick up free agents. And Matt Ishbia said to hell with all that and got what he wanted. And there's a version of it that could have worked, but it was risky. It was always going to be risky. And now here's the part where the risk is happening. It doesn't feel good. Does not feel good.
Mm-hmm. So everybody who moves here, if you're new in the Valley, keep your original teams. Just keep your original teams. Now I understand. Except for you, Keon. Your teams were horrible. Well, I mean,
two of them.
Your Nationals are all right.
And, well, the Caps too.
Anyway, I'm just saying, keep your original teams. Just, that's it. Don't
and
get
by
your
the
heart
way,
broken here.
Everyone keeps telling me change my team, but it's like the teams here from those teams that get made fun of the most that I root for have not done more winning than my teams.
Well, yeah,
have they
lately? I feel like even
as
bad as the Cardinals can be, they probably have a better winning percentage than the Washington football team.
I've only been here for 3 years, so in that time frame, maybe a better winning percentage, but the results are you didn't win any playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm changing it for a team that loses a bit but doesn't win playoff games to a team that loses a little bit less but still doesn't win playoff games. Like I
think you'd still rather have the Cardinals.
I would not. And right now, I really would.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't change.
Yeah,
because
optimism. Well, nobody knew that was coming.
Nobody knew it was coming when it happened, but like Dan Snyder was not going to own that team forever. He kept messing with the NFL's money, and the more he did, the worse it got.
You got so lucky with that.
He's not the first owner to get forced out of the league for nonsense.
That don't happen that often.
Well, it happened to the Panthers, and
you got very lucky
in my lifetime. Like it's the Broncos have gotten new ownership, and they didn't even have bad previous ownership.
My point is, you got lucky.
Yeah, but I originally got unlucky. So
let's see what happens.
Like the team was winning championships, and then Dan Snyder bought the team, I think, a year after I started being a fan. Like I got unlucky in the first place. So that's how it works.
So here we are. When we come back, we'll talk about the games that are going to happen tonight. So a little bit more NBA stuff to throw around. And then we can also talk about how our teams all did in the final days of the NFL draft. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 Fanatic.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Lab-grown diamonds might be new to retail, but not to Desert Wholesale Diamond. Hi, Diamond Dave Cantor of Desert Wholesale Diamond. And even though I'm a fourth-generation natural diamond importer, I was the first to import these gorgeous, eco-friendly, low-carbon footprint, conflict-free, real and genuine diamonds to the West Coast. And unlike everyone who's recently gotten on the lab-grown bandwagon, we work with the largest growers in the world to bring you the best possible diamonds at the lowest possible price. We know what to import and what to reject. And because we're importing direct, working in our low overhead wholesale offices, and making our own rings, bracelets, and earrings in our own facility, we can offer better pricing than anyone. So work with the leader, not the followers, and let us find you the perfect cultivated diamond for less, a lot less.
Call 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow Dave on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hey, look, Randy's here. Hey, Randy.
Howdy, team.
Yeah, you missed all the talk about the Phoenix Suns and stuff. So, count yourself lucky.
Well, I feel, has this been a bad month for the state of Arizona sports clubs or what? First, the Diamondbacks.
Year, decade.
You got Diamondbacks started out well, and boy, they're in a rut now. The Coyotes lose out the rest of the season and then move. And then, boy, the Suns got an ass whipping at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding us. We were just hoping to just sort of toddle off on our own way and forget that ever happened. You know what I mean? It's like we just broke up with a beautiful girlfriend. We got dumped, and then here comes Randy. Hey, remember you had a hot girlfriend? Oh, man, it sucks to be you this. But you see, remember you got dumped? It was this morning, Randy. I know. Oh, my God, you got dumped. That's what it feels like right now, Randy.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, that's just the facts of life. It is what it is.
You take the good, you take the bad.
Yeah, and then you go out and find Cheryl Ladd. I don't know how to make the rest of the song.
That's how that song goes. I just don't think that
was.
Yeah,
not something about Cheryl Ladd.
It's been a while.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't really watch the show. I was too busy watching Knight Rider around those times.
Yeah. Oh, you had those fights. Well, no, you were an only child. You got to do what you wanted. I had the thing where we had to negotiate. I had to watch so much damn Laverne and Shirley just to get to Mork and Mindy. I had to watch so much this just to get to some of that, But one thing I never compromised on. The A-Team. By
Oh,
God,
yeah.
we were
I mean,
watching the A team.
Yeah, the A team was always priority. Yeah. hmm
And then Airwolf.
I liked Airwolf. It wasn't. I didn't. It wasn't my favorite.
Well,
I
it
didn't-
started out good, and then they changed the guy because the other guy was a druggie. And then all of a sudden, then they changed the Ernest Borgnine to some other guy. And then
Yeah,
this
and
gal shows up, and it just jumped the shark pretty early.
Yeah, I kind of left. I couldn't buy into the Ernest Borgnine character.
Well, what
on
about him?
Skywalker.
Oh, I
Well,
can buy it. I
Okay,
liked him.
I'd watched him how many years on McHale's Navy, he's a Navy guy. Now you want me to believe that he's some elite helicopter pilot?
Well, he was more of a mechanic. But
well, okay, but if you want me to believe that he can handle Airwolf?
well, he
I don't
wasn't
think so.
flying that thing
But
much.
he's on several episodes. He did fly the Airwolf.
Yeah, but nobody could fly as well as what's his name?
Wasn't he in that that terrible movie Baby Blue Marine or something?
I don't know. It was a long time ago. I'm very old now, so don't ask me. What were you talking about? Oh yeah, the sports in Arizona. We suck.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. The Cardinals had a damn good draft.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll
Cardinals,
see.
in my opinion, had a damn good draft.
We'll see if it turns into W's. You know,
I think you're going to see a market improvement in the Cardinals this year.
well, you know what I see with that, Randy, is you had D Hop, you lost D Hop. Now you have like a new version of D Hop. D Hop was here. Didn't mean that you had well, maybe you had a few more W's. But I'm just saying, I don't think your team is done getting retooled yet.
Well, I don't think so either. But I will say that I thought our draft was a great draft, and
What do
according
you say,
to what,
Keon? Well, he's sneezing. I want to see. He was in mid sneeze. Sorry.
I mean, I had my
Bro-
mic off. I couldn't have answered you anyway.
he broke his rhythm. Did you end up finishing the sneeze, Keon? Yeah, it's
Oh, I did.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
It's-
Oh,
it-
have you ever?
that-
Then
that-
you can't sneeze again. You're
Well,
like,
that was
what have I
actually-
broken it.
Well, yeah, you can't stop your sneeze, and you can't stop your poops. Both of those are life threatening.
Yeah, I think that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, take it from me. I've lived a couple of minutes.
You can
I
pinch,
know.
You can pinch off a poo.
Oh no, you can't stop if you're in the middle of a poo. Trust me.
Well, yeah, you can pinch off. a poo.
Trust me.
Just let it play out. You know?
I've got extremely strong. I've done Kegel exercises. I have a very strong pincher.
Well,
I
you
guess
might
that's
be able to pinch it up, but it is not good for your system. I'm just here to tell you.
Well,
right
I
now.
don't know if it's good or bad for my
Having
system.
gone through everything I've gone through. Oh, by the way, Rye Guy. I heard you talking to
Oh, yeah.
Rye Guy about Tar Wars.
I don't know if
that-
he heard any of it, but I
Well,
did
it-
text him.
if he is listening, Rye Guy, there was a great documentary on George Brett this week, and I thought, as I was watching it, it was on the MLB channel, and because I have that now, because I got off that horrible YouTube TV that doesn't have the MLB TV. When I was watching it, I was thinking of you, Rye Guy. Like, I need to tell Rye Guy about this first thing Monday, and being that this is me just showing up to the show. By the way, Ron will get the bill for the damages.
Damages
Jeff,
of what?
Well, you'll see when he gets the bill. Anyway, I was watching this, and it brought up a couple of memories that I had. Billy Martin. Okay, A, he was a Weasley little rat.
Oh, yeah.
B, he needed to have his ass kicked real good, and C, he did that because he couldn't handle losing, and George Brett came up there with a bat, and also George Brett was going for 390, trying to get to 400 for the season.
What was the name of this documentary?
I believe it was George or Brett or George Brett, something along those lines.
Well, how do we recommend it if you don't know the title?
I can't remember the damn title. You know
Well,
what
couldn't
weekends
just
are like
write it-
around
you
my
couldn't
house.
just write it down or something?
Like the state I'm in.
Tell a sober person.
Well,
Yeah, it's called Brett.
there it
Just
is.
Brett, called Brett.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we hear from Rye Guy again. We'll tell him.
Tell
Go
him to
find
watch
Brett.
that. It was very good. There was
Yeah.
during that season, that same season, he had the hemorrhoids. He
They actually
lost
talked about him having
Oh
hemorrhoids?
yeah, well he did. Yeah, very candidly about it. Yeah, yeah.
Why? How is that relevant?
Well, he was going to hit 400, and then all of a sudden, the last couple weeks of the season happened, and he was trying to hit 400. Instead of just going up there and doing his George Brett, he went up there and tried to hit 400. That's mistake one. You can't do that. Two.
So he swung so hard he popped a hemorrhoid.
No. And then number two, they were fighting.
How are they connected?
I'll get there. I'll connect the dots in a
You
second.
don't sound like
here.
you're talking about hemorrhoids right now.
Oh, I will. I'm trying to tell you what caused.
Go
so
ahead.
The doctor asked him, "Have you had any stress lately?" And he's like, "Well, let's see. We're trying to get a playoff berth. I was trying to hit 400, and we had to finish a game where I was originally called out, and then I was ruled by the court. We had to finish the game, and we ended up winning. And I got the batting points back for my average, and I also got the home run because we finished that game. Yeah, you'd say I was in a little bit of stress, just a skosh bit of stress. Yeah.
So that popped out some hemorrhoids.
Yeah, all the stress. And
how many hemorrhoids?
I don't think they put a number on it.
Sounds like it's plural though. You say hemorrhoids.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, hemorrhoids.
Most people get a hemorrhoid. I didn't know that you could get more than one.
I'm going on what I heard on the TV and what me myself have experienced. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
What?
You've had hemorrhoids?
Sorry, we were talking what? Brett? Yeah, Brett's the name of the movie. Yeah, documentary.
All right. Well, if Fry Guy ever shows up again, we'll tell him that.
There you go.
Walter Mellon says, Keon, do you feel like there's someone out there that maybe Booker Durant, knows that is going to be a free agent that they could persuade to come our way?
I mean, potentially all these guys know each other. They've got each other's numbers. This is just standard operating business in the NBA. But I just think that before that part happens, you need money. Like to get players the kinds of players that you want, you got to at least be able to offer them more than a minimum salary.
May the record show I did not bring it back up. I got us completely off the subject, and it was what was his name?
Yeah, but then you
Walter
got
Mellon.
cagey. Then you got cagey about the
What do you mean?
hemorrhoid count. So
who? I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. Fish Tank says it always seems easy to say when a team fails, but I feel like Ishbia came in here like he was playing a video game version of Let's Be an Owner. You know how you'll trade anyone to get your favorite player in your team because who cares? It's a video game. Yeah, that was Ishbia and
Well,
KD.
if these three guys are his favorite players in all of basketball, then I would say he needs to take up another profession other than owning a basketball team. And by the way, this is typical of Arizona sports fans. When Ishbia came in, it was all it was all chocolate and milk and honey, and everybody was shooting off fireworks and
Well, but
hooray!
Randy, we saw a guy who was willing to spend some money, was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
willing to do a thing.
Yes,
We just
yeah.
didn't realize at the moment,
Yeah.
that was going to be a dumb thing.
Hooray! Matt Ishbia brought it. Oh, he brought in KD, our savior is
Well, I
landed.
like that.
And now it's like, sell the damn team. You're miserable.
Well, nobody's saying sell the
you-
at least I haven't heard that.
Beady-eyed looking dude wipe. What the hell are you doing here?
Beady-eyed looking dude wipe.
Whose idea was it to bring us another owner? Yay!
Yeah, he's
Nobody's saying that.
He's a very young owner of a basketball team.
Look, man,
he's gonna
everybody,
take his
everybody,
lumps, you know.
Everybody is forgetting who one of his confidants is.
No, nobody's forgotten that Isaiah Thomas is one of his
Mhm.
confidants.
Now, yeah, Isaiah Thomas Sr. is one of his confidants. I'm not saying that Matt Ishbia didn't okay it, but I don't know that he was the guy that brought in Beal to this situation, and I don't know that Isaiah Thomas is the smartest sharpest tool in the shed.
I think he's a very smart man. He's
When
just
it
an
comes to
awful,
basketball teams,
awful GM. His
Well, there
run
you
in
go.
New York should be
there you go.
all the evidence you need in the world that man should not be making basketball decisions for a professional basketball team.
Thank you for putting it in bold, highlighting it, and underlining it for me because that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
But, he doesn't seem like a dumb guy.
I'm
Ishbia
not
doesn't
saying
seem
that
like a
he's a
dumb
dumb
guy,
guy.
which means
No.
maybe he'll look at this and go, ooh, I'm losing $150 million for no good reason. I think I better listen to somebody. I think he'll realize that he needs to listen to somebody.
I hope so, but he's a young owner, and I've seen a lot of owners in sports pop up, and they start spending money because they assume that that's what you have to do, and then they learn. In this case, with Matt Ishbia, the hard way. Okay, maybe that's not how you do it. And the guys that are smart learn from their mistakes, figure out, okay, that didn't work. That strategy is not a great strategy. And then they figure out more conventional ways. Maybe you revolutionize some things a little, but you try to figure out the better ways of getting things done.
Navy Brad says Gesundheit, Kian. And I won't be
Thank you.
weird. I'll be very emotional. Happy to have her close. Okay, don't be emotional, Navy Brad. Don't make it weird. Just try. Well, we'll talk about it later. I'll explain later. It's the Daily Blender on 1580, The Fanatic.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel, not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise in the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states, your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Attention business owners, do you need zero money down financing on new or used equipment? Meet Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, your gateway to equipment financing that breaks the mold. JR Capital offers zero money down financing options on both new and used equipment, vehicles, heavy machinery, and more. It's a game changer, giving you the power to enhance your operations without slowing you down or denting your cash flow. Need a boost in working capital or a flexible line of credit? Dylan can help your business get the cash flow it needs fast. The process is a breeze too, with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need faster and easier than asking your banker. Call Dylan Cohen at JR Capital today at 602-834-7353 or click on Finance with Dylan at moneyradio.com. Call Dylan Cohen 602-834-7353 and get the money you need for your business today. KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And in a half an hour, you got Miami and Boston. And I think that Boston is up 2-1 over Miami. And then later on, about an hour after that, you got Oklahoma City and the Pelicans. Feels like the Pelicans might get swept at home. And then you got Denver and LA. I'd call unfinished business. So that's happening, I think, at 7:00. I hope I got the times right. So tomorrow, though, is the Knicks and the Sixers and the Cavaliers. What the hell is Orlando's team called again?
The Magic.
The Magic,
Oh,
yeah.
God. Orlando, and then Bucks and Pacers.
Why is
It's
that a problem?
homage to the Magic Kingdom.
There is
believe.
nothing magic. There's nothing magic
like-
about Orlando. Have you
Disney's,
been
like,
there?
right down the road, though.
What a pee hole that is. Anyway, so let's
That's
talk.
a pee hole. We're talking
Yeah.
about Disney here.
So, yeah, and Anaheim's a place I'd like to hang out.
well,
Anaheim is a giant
Disney
garbage hole too.
Disney World, though, is
I know. I'm
Well,
saying Anaheim for Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Orlando. Ugh. For Disney World. You don't. Which one do you think you're more likely to not get murdered in? Spoiler alert. Both. You're going to get murdered in both.
I don't know. I have family in Orlando. They've not ever had that problem.
Now listen. Okay. There's family.
now you've done it, Jeffrey.
Parts of Phoenix can be nice, but mostly it's a good place to get stabbed. And parts of Orlando might be nice, but otherwise, good place to get killed. So I'm just saying, Anaheim, same thing. Well, if you ever hung out anywhere near Disneyland but wasn't in Disneyland, your life was in danger. Anaheim, just stay away from Anaheim.
Okay, wasn't planning on going.
I
but,
didn't.
I'll note that.
I didn't know that. I've been to Disneyland many times.
Yeah, well, you don't stay in Anaheim. You just
I don't go anymore because it costs so damn much. Kim and
True.
I can't even go. It costs you got to take out a second on your house just to get into the damn place.
I remember back in what was it, 1991? I went to Disneyland, 1991, and I'm standing there. I'm like, $20? Well, what the hell? Do I get free rides? No, 20. And then, of course, fast forward to now. Oh, those were the good old days.
Oh yeah.
Now it's a couple $100 just to get in the damn door.
Yeah, try three.
Ugh. Yeah.
Three per.
Wait, what? I got to pay you $300 so I can stand in line for 45 minutes?
Oh no, they have this.
Sign me up.
I guess they have this new thing now. It's called cut to the front of the line. Yeah, I want to do that at Disneyland on a hot July day when there's 1,000 million people there. And I want to go, I go right to the front of the line and watch the chaos break out behind me. And there's a giant fight and a riot.
The biggest waste of money I have ever seen is people who take their children to Disney World and they're like 3 or 4.
They'll
Kid is
never
not-
remember it.
Yeah, you're just dropping $300 a kid, and they are not going to remember a
Oh, yeah.
damn thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Here, let me give you some advice. Photoshop yourself into some pictures of Disneyland with them as a baby and say, we did take you to Disneyland. You said you never wanted to go again.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, the kid's like, well, that sounds reasonable. Okay. No, I mean,
you said,
yeah.
you said it was no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the people were rude to you, and you didn't have fun at all. So we just chose
You
never
fell
to go
out
back.
of a ride. Don't you
Yeah.
remember?
You
You
don't
fell out
remember
of a ride. Or go the other direction with it. You robbed a guy, and we've been told we can never go back. Wait,
Yeah.
what? But I was like 6 months old. We don't even know where you got the gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Joel Embiid. I just kind of feel bad for Joel Embiid, a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to.
Yeah, what happened to these raucous Philly fans? They let so many Knicks fans into the damn auditorium there.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's you've had that complaint about the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
People are going in there buying tickets, and all of a sudden you got a whole crap ton of the
Yeah.
wrong team in there. Well, that's what happened, and Knicks fans took it over at the Philadelphia Wells Fargo Center, and he said, "I'm disappointed. I love our fans, but." And he's trying to be like walk the line. He's like, I think it's unfortunate. Not calling him out. It's disappointing. I have all the respect in the world for you, but you guys suck. Obviously, you got a lot of Knicks fans, and they're down the road. He says, I've never seen this before, but I've been here for 10 years.
Yeah,
Kind of pisses me off, he says.
I was quite surprised to hear MVP chants for what's the
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen
yeah.
Brunson. I mean, He probably deserves it. I mean, he's had a wonderful season, but I mean,
and postseason
in Philadelphia, are you kidding me? A playoff game, and the fans let the Knick fans buy tickets, and I've never heard it. That's just unheard of. I'm sorry. I don't know how they did it.
That normally doesn't happen in Philly because they know that if they sell their tickets, it's going to Knicks fans usually, or Nets fans, or whoever. Because all of these cities that hate each other are like 2 hours away. It's an afternoon drive. So you know who you're letting in the building when you put those tickets on sale. For them to do that tells you a lot about how this fan base feels about this team, which they don't believe in them.
Well, and if I'm Joel Embiid, look, I know his character is he's a strong character guy. I know he wants to be out there. Hell, he's playing through Bell's palsy and a knee injury. And I'm not even sure that he's healed from the knee injury. He's got a big giant brace on.
Yeah, there's no
and
way.
He's trying to gut it out. And then Philly fans are not showing up and icing these Knicks fans from getting tickets. Are you kidding me?
Maybe he'll want to get traded.
Well, it's certainly not a good look. You want to keep Joel Embiid there? I mean, wow. I would not expect that from Philly fans.
CK says, who's going to tell Randy? You know, the Navy has helicopter aviators. Wait, what? What's that? What?
He's going back to Airwolf and Ernest Borgnine.
Oh, right.
I didn't buy into his helicopter mechanic. Look, either you're a commander on a PT boat or you're a helicopter guy. Pick one and move along. All right? Don't show up in try to revive your career years down the road being some high tech. Give me a break. Ernest Borgnine is going to somewhere down the road, like 20 years after McHale's Navy, is going to show up and be this high-tech helicopter guy.
It's called acting, Randy. He's pretending. He's allowed to pretend. He's allowed to make a living.
Look, I would cast Keon in that role before I put Ernest Borgnine in there.
But Ernest Borgnine had star power.
He had star power, but good God.
He won an Oscar, Randy.
He didn't win an Oscar, not for Airwolf.
You can't win an Oscar for Airwolf. It was a TV show. You get an Emmy for that.
Oh my God!
Or a Grammy. I don't know.
Did he win an Emmy?
I couldn't
Airwolf?
buy into it.
I think he got a Grammy for Airwolf.
It was, and then you're right. You had that whatever his name. They went by 3 names. I can't remember what.
Jan Michael Vincent.
There it is. You put that guy in there, and then all of a sudden he's gone.
Yeah,
now,
he's
he
out
was
there playing his violin to eagles swimming over a lake or flying around.
Yeah.
That's like serial killer stuff right there. I'm going to go out back. I'm going to play my cello for this crow that flies around.
When he throws on the outfit to fly Airwolf,
you like how he looked in it, huh?
That's believable. Okay, that's believable to me. But Ernest Borgnine?
Yeah, he was stuffed in there like a sausage. But listen, we all get old, Randy. We all have a right to make a living.
No kidding. Look
at me right now.
You know what, Ernest? I'm sorry, that was cast incorrectly.
Donnie, nobody cares. Florida Mustard says,
beady-eyed dude wipe. Donnie.
Beady-eyed dude wipe is a top 10 one-liner.
Thank you.
Slow-mo Zoe, I don't know what you just sent. I can't see. He's sending me standings for some reason. I'll take a look at that in a second.
Because Snakes are in 4th place now.
No. That's not what he's sending me.
Oh, all right.
He's talking about something in 25 years. He says this graph on this year versus last year after 25 games or so. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
Diamondbacks?
No, the Diamondbacks are here, but I don't know what he's getting at. Don't know what you're getting at. Average Joe says, want to talk prices? I watched Field of Dreams last night, and when they go to Fenway Park, they order 2 beers and 2 dogs for $10.
Yeah, that must have been 50 years ago.
50 years ago? It's like 35 years ago.
You could bring livestock into the stadium.
I think you still can. I've seen some of these guys' wives.
You could. Touche.
Fish Tank says, is there anything better than the Philly fans getting exactly what they deserve for being the most annoying fans in all of sports?
Well, if they're the most annoying, then
I think I've seen
where
worse,
were they
actually.
last night?
They didn't get anything last night, what they deserve or otherwise, because they didn't go.
Navy Devil says, my wife and daughter went to Disneyland for spring break. 3-day park hopper I don't know what that means. $550 a piece.
Oh, so
Yeah, well,
they have 3 different parks. And so if you get the tickets for all 3, well.
Okay, young people of America, don't have kids. Don't have kids.
Wow.
Because they will expect to go to Disneyland someday.
Wow.
Just
so
don't.
you're talking to kids about not having kids.
Well, younger people.
Like
younger people.
Young adults. Who
Beer Bob
have
says,
children.
You 20-somethings.
Yeah.
Don't have kids.
Just don't. Beer Bob says, Randy, I don't know why you're upset about a guy acting in a different show. The Suns were acting like a pro basketball team all year.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm trying to steer away from the Suns. I don't really want to talk about them. Jeffrey doesn't want to talk about them.
We're kind of sad about it, but we're also used to this disappointment.
They got their asses soundly whipped by another team, and it's like Jeffrey and Keon were saying, and Jeffrey, rightly so, from the get-go. I remember him saying, and it's hard, but I remember this. He said, "It seems to me they're not very deep."
Mm-hmm.
And we saw the repercussion of them not thinking outside the box, but trying to play, 3 superstar basketball. And I wasn't comfortable with the Bradley Beal move. I tried to think positively about this, but what are they going to do now? They've mortgaged the future on this team, and they've given up all kinds of draft stock.
Lots of big decisions are going to have to get made.
Yeah. The thing that worries me about this is when they made the move, it was incredibly aggressive. It was incredibly risky. And as long as they had a plan for, okay, here's what we're going to do if this doesn't work, I was okay with it. And silly me, I assumed that plan existed. But the more stuff keeps coming out about how the decision-making process was made, which is more Matt Ishbia showed up and said, let's do that. And then because he's the boss, everybody did that. There doesn't seem to be a counter plan to, hey, here's our plan B in case this actually blows up in all of our faces. There just isn't.
I do appreciate this. The post-game interview, when first of all, KD was up there and they were asking him questions and one reporter asked him the question about, you've already talked about this, haven't you?
No.
Is that why one of the reporters asked him, what bothers you looking back on this season? What bothers you? And Katie says, I don't want to talk about that. That's a family business, and we'll work that out on the inside. I really appreciated that about Kevin Durant, and I appreciated that out of Devin Booker. Who I didn't see up there doing the same thing was any of the other guys.
Now, they were already in their cars on the way home.
Yeah, and also the media requests certain players too. So they didn't ask for you. They must not think you matter.
Well, I mean, there's an awful lot of guys on that team that didn't play because they kept the starters out for the entire game.
That's a desperation move.
The coach's decision not to play list was extremely long.
And that's another thing. I've had a bad feeling about Frank Vogel from the start. So, but I heard you guys talking about coaching, one source, I don't know if it was Sports Illustrated or one of the sports channels that having like 3, and that makes it seem like there's only 3 guys that could be quality
I'm
coaches.
Sure there might be some more out there, but those were the ones they zeroed in on.
I just feel like
Sports Illustrated.
There's going to have to be some hard decisions made, and we're going to have to figure it out from here. And quite honestly, I'll tell you, Matt Ishbia needs to let James Jones do his thing.
And yes, he does need to let that happen. And you know what? Maybe listen to your coach, because
don't be a Tepper.
I'm not saying that Frank Vogel's only problem was that he didn't have a point guard, but he specifically asked for one for his offense and was told no. But how's he supposed to do his job if he asks for a thing, which, by the way, point guard, pretty important position on a basketball floor. That's your floor general. And you can't even get that. Forget the trade deadline. Didn't make any moves to try and make that happen.
Keon says, give Coach Hairplug a chance. Quote him on that.
I didn't say that.
He said that.
In fact, I
Totally
specifically said that's not his only problem.
Coach Hairplug.
If you're going
Called
to
him Coach Hairplug,
I know, he just did right there.
Jeffrey did.
Quote him.
But You have
Why
to
would you call him Coach Hairplug?
You have to
It's
consider
obvious.
in this
It
list
is?
of factors of
If he had
whether or
earplugs,
not to
dude,
bring him back.
go more of the Joe Buck look,
You've
wouldn't
got to
he?
consider the fact that he didn't get all the things he said
sorta
he
had
needed.
Kind of like a comb over thing.
I think it's
going
like
on.
he started and he was just like, I ran out of money. I think that's what it is.
Is that what it was?
It's kind of like when somebody starts to redo a house. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And then they run out of money, and you can tell
Yeah.
where they ran out of money. That's Fogel.
Hmm.
Florida Mustard says Jan Michael Vincent is a PDI dude wipe. Okay, you're gonna ruin it. See, that's the thing
Yeah,
about a new
you
saying.
do
If
that.
you overdo it, then it starts to be less effective. You probably want to hold on to that for a while, then bring it out again.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But Florida Mustard says it's flat out embarrassing that Suns have three guys that can completely take over a game and not one of them stepped up. Kevin Durant did last night, and I'm sorry, Booker did last night, and Kevin Durant played his standard. It was Beal who left it lacking, as well as all the position players.
Well, I mean,
he
he
says
had
Kevin
some-
Durant is no longer the Kevin Durant fans want on their team. Of course, he's a good player, but he ain't winning anything anymore. Well, I don't know that he's a professional, Florida Mustard. His body language showing he doesn't. I don't think that's what his body language shows. He puts himself out there. He does his all.
And we don't have the context of a lot of the body language. Like sometimes it's just obviously bad for some people, but Kevin's never been demonstrative, loud cheering guy. So a lot of his body language looks pretty baseline for him.
No, Kevin Durant is all right. That's not the one you have to worry about. Bradley Beal and the way he was acting up, that is, I mean, that's born of frustration. I'll give him that. But yeah,
Doesn't make it right, but I understand being in that headspace. When you lose like that, you're just lashing out.
I mean, there's a certain place and a certain time to deny somebody a high five, but there's also a certain place and a certain time you should be looking for a high five. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a
I feel like
colonoscopy. You should not be asking for a high five when you're giving me a colonoscopy.
Absolutely. And if there is somebody giving you a high five and you start smelling cigars smoke, then you need it. There needs to be something checked here.
An investigation.
Not just your colon. But I think there was blame on both sides here. Beal's side, but also, what are you doing, Vogel? What are you doing?
High five what? Like there's
Well,
nothing.
it wasn't like, hey, we're losing, high five. He was just like going by, put his hand out like, all right, good job, buddy. Get back to the bench. It was one of those moments. And he's like, get that out of my face. So it wasn't like Vogel was celebrating.
No, it's not that. It's just
Give him his space, man. That's common sense.
Slim Pickens hat says, worst part of Bell's palsy. Can't blink and it's hard to eat. Had it years ago. Ooh, I wonder if I'm going to get it. Good Cat says, hey guys, what's happening? Now the Suns were swept. Who y'all cheering for? Nobody today, man. Nobody.
Yeah.
Gonna need a minute with our thoughts.
I'm rooting for this Wizards draft lottery ping pong ball. That's what I'm rooting for.
Tonight, Denver. We're rooting for Denver. Is it okay
Let's
for me to
go,
root for Denver?
Let's go, Denver. Let's go.
I don't know if you like the people on the
Let's go,
team and you're not
Nuggets.
rivals. I don't.
No, the Denver's kind of a rival.
They're not
Maybe
really.
Kind of.
Maybe
You don't
Fish
have a
Tank could write
history
us
of playing them.
a
They're not a
substitute
rival.
team fight song for the Nuggets.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I mean, tonight's Denver. After that, I don't know. Just don't feel like rooting. Wilbur says, is it wrong on my part? But I'm really over the Phoenix Suns right now. Suck it, Dodgers, and go Diamondbacks. Yeah, let's just turn our attention to rooting on the Diamondbacks and hoping that doesn't blow up in our face. All right, we got to take a break. Bunch more texts waiting for us on the text line. When we come back, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate because they know insurance math. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
So, Ralph, what are the Weekend Warriors all about?
Well, we talk about sports.
National sports?
Of course.
Regional sports?
Sure.
Arizona sports?
Yeah. And we also interview local athletes, coaches, and sports-related business owners to share their amazing stories.
But what if they don't have an amazing story?
Then we talk about something else. You know what, Neil? You're fired.
Again, well, listen in for great sports talk, amazing interviews, and to see if I have a job next week.
You won't. It's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, and I finally figured out what Slow-Mo Zoe was trying to send me. You know, if it's a year, it says interesting graph on this year versus last year after 25 games. But what you sent me has the dates cut off at the top, so I had no idea what this was. So now I've sort of deciphered that the first column is this year and the next column is last year. We only have one loss more at the same time this year that we had last year. So it's basically the exact same record. And the teams that are in better shape at this time of year than last year would be the Kansas City Royals. Of course, they were in bad shape last year. But I don't even care to read this. Nothing against you, Slow-Mo Zoe, but again, nothing really matters right now, does it? Do these things even matter? I mean, probably not for another, 4? How many months till we care? 4?
It'll be August.
Yeah. So that doesn't even really matter. Doesn't really matter.
I generally break the baseball season down to the All-Star break. Where are you at the All-Star break? And who have you picked up to help your team if you're in that sort of a situation at the All-Star break? And then what is your schedule like in the second half of the season? And right now the Diamondbacks are in they're in a bit of a free fall. They've fallen to fourth place in the National League West, percentage points behind the San Francisco Giants after this terrible series in Seattle. They ran into a buzzsaw. The Seattle pitching staff was they are just white hot right now. They are just burning through other teams at this point. And you go in there and you do what you can. Then you lose your ace to a hamstring, no less, a hamstring injury. And you know how I feel about hamstring injuries, Jeffrey. I mean, that's going to be tough to get a hold of, especially as a pitcher. You use your hamstrings, you use your legs, your trunk quite a bit to push off and to gain momentum towards home plate. And then you've got your rivals coming in, Los Angeles Dodgers, who when we last met them, we had swept their ass on our way to the World Series. You think the Dodgers are not going to be looking for a little revenge, a little payback? And that's happening starting tonight, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Then
And we haven't won a series in a while, Randy.
no.
You know, we did beat the
Rockies.
Mariners. We beat the Mariners last night 3-2, and
Yeah.
Brandon had a career high 11 strikeouts. So there's
Mhm.
little moments of like, yay, and then crap, and then we keep telling ourselves, it's early. But now we got the Dodgers. At least it's at home. That at least is a nice part. It's at home.
3 against the Dodgers at home, and we've had a long a road trip. When we were last at home, it was April 17th. Okay, it's April 29th. So you do the math there. We only
we got-
play 6 at home. We played LA and we play San Diego.
But we're
And then
starting with Tommy Hendry, though.
Well, and there's a reason for that because Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, they're on the injured list. I don't know what Torey Lovello is doing. I'll be honest with you, because a lot of guys are on the injury list right now for the Diamond. It's not good. I mean, when you talk about Ryan Nelson, a starting pitcher, he's on the 15-day. It was announced today. Kyle Nelson, one of your relief pitchers, he's on the 15-day. That was announced today. Luis Frias, a reliever, he's on the 15-day. And Miguel Castro, he is on the 15-day IL. That's 4 pitchers right there. Then you've got Zach Gallen, who yesterday went on the day-to-day look. They're expecting him to make his next scheduled start, but nobody knows for sure. It's a hamstring. Then you've got Alec Thomas back on the 24th. He's only been on the IL, the 10-day IL with a hamstring issue. Merrill Kelly on the 24th. That was just 5 days ago. He's on the 15-day IL with what seems to be soreness in his shoulder. And then when you thought you were going to get some good news by having Paul Sewald, your supposed closer, the stud that's going to come in and help you, who hurt his oblique in one of the last games before the regular season, and he's been on the IL this entire time since opening day. Well, he's been pushed back to the 15-day because he's got some soreness in his oblique area. He's not quite ready to come back and throw. The pitching staff for the Snakes is just complete chaos right now.
Well, it's a shame we have to be like in this sort of shape going into play against the Dodgers in a 3-game series.
Oh,
but
my God. Yeah.
Here's hoping on that. Let's get to the text line. A lot of texts waiting for our attention. Dr. Roadmap says, years after Gettysburg, General Pickett was asked why his charge failed so miserably. He replied, I think the Yankees had something to do with it.
Oh,
Sometimes the Suns just come up against a better playing team that day. Fair enough. Florida Mustard says, even then, Book and KD should be able to get it done. Any 2 of the 3, good enough to get it done. It's just flat out embarrassing. The Suns have 3 guys that can completely take over a game, and not one of them stepped up. It did. Yeah, it felt like that, but they did you got Kevin Durant, you got Devin Booker doing a 30 and doing a 40 or whatever it is. Should be enough. That means that your supporting players aren't stepping up either. You got guys. If you looked at I have the box score, and it was like this guy had 6 points, this guy had 9 points. You can't. You got to have more people involved than just the 2 stars or 3 stars.
I think that's part of it, and I think that goes back to what you said earlier this season. And Keon, maybe you can help. Is there a reason why these other guys aren't taking shots? Are they just like figurines out there, or
they kind of look like it? I think Grayson Allen was really huge because he was very assertive. If he was open, he just took the shot. He didn't think about it. He didn't overcomplicate it, and it really helped the spacing on the floor. But so much of the offense, just especially in this series, just felt like, all right, KD's got the ball. They're guarding him one-on-one. I guess we'll just all stand and watch KD break this guy down and get to the basket. And Booker would do it, and Beal did it sometimes, and it never really resulted consistently in scoring. The ball's not moving around. Other guys aren't getting involved, so that there's nobody's engaged in the game. Then you give the ball to a guy who hasn't touched it in 25 minutes and expect him to knock down shots. Like you've got to keep everybody else involved in the game. Some of that is coaching. Some of that is
point guard.
Yeah. Need a guy that might just distribute the basketball.
Good
Yeah,
Cat
well-
says, did Vogel get his hair plugs at the same place as Crybaby? Like Crybaby? No, he didn't have hair plugs. He just puts little bits of chia, little bit, little
Who-
glued,
he waters
little
it.
glued chia.
Who does? LeBron?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good Cat says, I'm cheering for my other team, the Celtics. All right. Well, you got to find something to keep you going. I'm just cheering for any good basketball right now. Beer Bob says, so Randy, did you see the video of a mannequin falling off a bridge during a F1 race? What?
no, I didn't see that. Are you talking about recently here when in Miami during one of the? Well, I guess they haven't really qualified Miami, have they? Huh?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Where was that, in China?
T-Licious says, now I can finally quit acting like I care about the NBA for now. Thank God for baseball season and NHL playoffs. Suns are dead to me after sucking the life out of me this season.
Wow.
There's 7 months of my life I won't get back. You know, I understand why you feel that way because, we were like, hey, I could do this, if that. And we're like, man, they were winning. And they're like, okay, I could see where the, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, dead. It was just, it's like we've been had. That's a hard one to take, getting swept. Bruno Baller says Diamondbacks managed to go sweepless in Seattle. How long have you been holding on to that one, Bruno Baller?
Wow. Wow. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Says Las Toby. Nurkic now holds the worst playoff win percentage in NBA history after now falling 3-17. So he's .150. Yeah, but he's not a star.
Yeah, and it's a team game. Even if he was a star, he played this one season in Phoenix. Obviously, the Suns get swept, but I mean, look at the Trailblazers over the years. Like they had trouble finding that extra option for Dame Lillard for years and years and years, and Nurkic was on those teams. So yeah, that's your playoff record. But in a team game, I just think that's a weird way to look at the sport.
So, Randy, you know how they have see-through pants in the Major League Baseball?
Yeah, allegedly. Yes, go ahead.
And how people have been complaining about the jerseys and the sweat stains and the being able to see a guy's religion when he's playing baseball and all that stuff. They finally have stepped up and they've said, okay, after those complaints, we are going to go ahead and address this. We're going to fix this. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have larger lettering on the back of the jerseys. I didn't know that was a problem. Remedying the mismatched gray tops. We're not going to have that anymore. In the bottoms. And addressing the Nike jerseys sweaty thing. And then we're going to take care of the see-through stuff. And that's good to hear. And here's what I read, though, that makes this really interesting. The changes, which will happen at the latest by the beginning of the 2025 season. Wait, can't you fix this now? Why can't you fix this now? It'll also include fix the pants and the stuff and all that. How about now? Why do we have to wait for that? I mean, even if you say a month from now, everybody's going to have new stuff. Why is it going to wait till 2025? That just baffles me. But here's what they also did. They've exonerated Fanatics. They say, no, this is totally Nike's fault. Fanatics, the manufacturer, they are just doing what they were supposed to do. Don't give them any more crap. It's Nike.
Yeah, it's been Nike. They're the ones that design it.
Nike's response was, no habla español. I don't know how to say, I don't know how to speak English and Chinese, or else I would have done that. So they're fixing it, Randy, eventually.
I don't see what all the hubbub is, unless so the tops, they're supposed to, what do they call that? Wick away.
Wick. Instead, they look like a bunch of flop sweaty stepdads. And then you got the see-through pants. So now they look like a bunch of down at the park perverts. You know what I'm saying?
Seems to me they would take care of that. It seems to me that this would have been resolved before the damn things were, handed out. It seems to me, if I'm Nike, one of the biggest sports, clothier in the damn world, would have had the resources and would have had the wherewithal to check this before they release this stuff, so that everybody checks off on it, that everybody's good with it. They would have given out some samples to some of these players. Hey, work out in this. Let me know what you think. Ask people to take a look at it. Let us know what everybody says. We'd like to know if this passes muster. And where's the MLB Players Association on this thing? Somebody had to say okay.
Well, they have been leading the charge.
It seems
I
like to
understand
me
what you're
that
saying, but
it seems like to me that this was just poorly mismanaged by whoever was in charge of this whole thing. I want to say it was probably drunk, but hell's bells, he doesn't even like baseball, so I can't even. He probably just like, yeah, whatever, that's good enough.
Ka-chunk stamped. You know how baseball has music. When the batter comes walking out, they have their walk-up music.
Walk-up music. Yeah.
Kind of wish football had a version of that, because then every
So-
time Tank Dell walked up, you could play some 50 Cent. No
Because
idea what
he-
I'm talking
he-
about.
Because he got shot?
Because he got shot. 50 Cent got shot.
50 Cent got shot too?
That's his whole thing.
Many times, and didn't.
I didn't realize
did not-
50 Cent got shot.
That the whole get rich or die trying thing was as a result of he was
That's-
shot.
He got shot a lot.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, Tank Dell got shot Saturday. Superficial wounds, but damn, that's scary.
Yeah.
But again, he was an innocent bystander during a mass shooting in a nightclub. Luckily, nobody was killed in that. I don't know what this person was shooting, but it didn't seem to do any real damage. Some kid just walked in there and started shooting up the place. Which is the only reason this is even something I would joke about. But lucky people weren't killed. Lucky people weren't just killed in
no
that
kidding.
thing.
No kidding. But my question is, why are we still as NFL guys or these professional athletes, why are they still visiting these places that they know there could be a possibility of danger?
You don't expect at some nightclub that somebody's going to come and shoot it up. Here's the problem: is when you're out till like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, that's when all the stuff happens. If a guy wants to go to a club and dance and hang out with his pals, but in the back of your head, though, if you have a lot to lose, thinking I should be like Cinderella, and get my ass home at midnight, because nothing happens at 11:30. Nothing happens at even midnight. It's at 1:30, 2:30 a.m.
My dad used to say nothing good happens after 12 o'clock.
I had a coach that used to say that.
It's true because all these things, these guys racing their cars, these guys getting into these issues, getting into fights, getting into this, that. It's always after 1 a.m.
I'll tell you what.
Ever see it anywhere before 1 a.m.?
I read a great article on Victor Wembanyama, and he's the kind of guy that seems like he's very disciplined. And he told the San Antonio Spurs, look, after 9 o'clock, don't try to call me because I'm not going to answer the phone. At 8 o'clock, he reads a book for an hour, whatever book. Then at 9, he's in bed. And that's the way he runs his life. He's very disciplined about that. And I'm not saying not to go and have fun. I'm sure Victor Wembanyama has time where he goes out and he has some fun. He probably goes out dancing or whatever, hangs out with some friends. But it seems like he's very
one
disciplined.
boring virgin.
Well, I just say that I feel like if these guys are professional athletes, there's got to be a way for them to understand. Look, you have a privileged situation here. You need to guard that, and you don't need to be out till 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, hanging out and put yourself out there for somebody. I'm sure he would be a target. I mean, these gangs. I mean, if somebody actually killed him,
it's not always gangs at a club.
Well, it's not always gangs, but some of these gangs. I mean, that's like a medal for them. You know what I mean? They'll send these kids out, and it's sort of an initiation thing. If you can take out somebody of high profile, it's the same with the American troops too. I mean, they had the playing cards back in the Iraq War. These guys have got to realize there needs to be a cutoff time. You got to take some responsibility and get yourself home.
Now, while I don't feel like we've lost a lot of players to that. It just being smart and not being where trouble is always a good idea for anybody.
Yeah, but if somebody just burst in and started shooting, how could you predict that?
Well, you can't. Obviously, you cannot do that.
because clubs are supposed to have security and all this other stuff. Like that's if he was just milling around outside the club, like I was like, okay, maybe be a little smarter about that. You got a lot of money and you could be a target. Get the hell out of there. But if
I'm nobody and I don't even leave the house,
just
figured it's just that's
you
safe.
and me both. You and me both.
Oily Stool says, Randy, you go to bed at 8 p.m. every night. Early to bed, early to rise,
I actually go to bed around 10 or so, but thank you. I think
you should go to bed earlier.
Why?
Oily Stool thought so.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're going to take any advice from somebody. It should be somebody called Oily Stool.
Oily Stool, yeah.
Got to take a break. We come back. More of the Daily Blender. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate because they know insurance math. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Baker's Cocky Hen says, why didn't any gangs go after OJ? These gangs need to start building good reps for themselves. Can't wait to see the NIL deal sponsored by the Crips. we were just talking off air. I was like, I've never heard of gangs telling people to do that, but I guess it's a thing. I had no idea.
Shooting up clubs, yeah, especially high visibility clubs where noted celebrities go. Yeah, that's
so glad we're low value targets. Florida Mustard says, so can we finally know what the hell? No, I can't read that. I can't read that, Florida Mustard. Don't even ask that. CK says 50 Cent got shot 9 times.
Wow. Yeah, he got shot a lot.
I thought it was 6 times.
I couldn't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but it was a lot.
9 sounds right.
If CK said it, it's got to be true.
CK is down.
And I saw some interview. He showed some of the wounds that he had. He ain't lying. He got shot a lot.
Yeah, but if I took a cigarette lighter and then be like, oh, there's where I got shot, you could fake a scar.
You could, but he's not. Like it's pretty,
but
it's
why
pretty.
would you?
It's
Well,
pretty.
I believe him. Don't
Yeah.
think I don't believe him. I'm just saying, if you really wanted to fake those scars, you could.
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
But 9 times is crazy. That's an absurd number of times to be shot.
Rough Rob says Kevin Durant's burner account is about to go scorch earth, asked to be traded. I don't think so. I think Kevin Durant's all right.
Ever since the original burner account, I don't know if he has others or whatever. Ever since that got sorted out and found out,
he learned his lesson.
Yeah, he's just been telling everybody to their face now all the stuff that he was saying from the burner. So it's not like a secret when Kevin Durant's not happy.
That is true. Beer Bob sent me a link on the Twitters. What about the mannequin? A mannequin fell onto the track during a race. So they had like mannequins standing on like a little bridge above it where to make it look like people were there or something. And then it fell onto the track and got hit by one of the cars.
Oh my gosh.
Took its hand off. But then now they're laughing about it. So it's like, I don't know what this was.
A mannequin?
Some
Wow.
sort of, what was this silliness, Beer Bob? I put it on the Twitter for Andy to see, but he don't have Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Pink Eye says, tell you what, I can't cheer for Denver. Joker's brothers or hoodlums. Oh, hell, I might cheer for him just because of that.
Didn't they get into some sort of
they punched a guy.
Conflicts?
Yeah, whatever happened from that? I never heard anything from that. Like they so what happened was the Joker's brothers who got into an argument with the guy in the stands, and then he punched him. Didn't take the guy down, so it was like a little love tap. And people are holding him back and stuff. I don't know what happened after that.
There really isn't a whole lot on it. Like
I know the police were taking a look at it.
Yeah, and I guess when they finally reached out and figured out everything in their investigation and figured what they would like to release to the public, but a lot of the stories from it are like 5 or 6 days old. So
yeah, I think that's quietly going away.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ringless Joe says the Suns are so screwed. What an absolute disaster that was. Frank Vogel will be fired, but that's not the whole reason this team didn't work. Yeah, we know, Ringless Joe. It's just
like if you think firing Frank Vogel solves all the problems or even any of the problems, I think that's very naive.
So one last thing on basketball. This is dumb as hell. I just don't. They're going to play a couple of regular season games in France next season. And yes, they're sending the Spurs because of Victor Wembanyama. Yes, it's a whole setup because the Olympics are coming. Blah, 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 blah. I am so sick and tired of these games. Now, everybody's going to be exhausted. I have made that flight from here to France. And it's exhausting. And now you're going to send a basketball team all the way to France. Of course, it's easier than sending a football team, but you play more games in a week and in a month playing basketball than football does. So the Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs are going to go play the Pacers for 2 games in Paris next season on January 23rd and January 25th. I wish they'd stop doing this nonsense.
Yeah, I agree. I understand the desire for money, and at least it makes more sense for the NBA financially because basketball already exists in Europe. So you're just saying, here's the best. But the constant exporting of the teams to try and push them out, I just think it's not great for the product of the sport. And
don't the European players they know about NBA basketball from the guys that have been there, and they who was it? Was it Wembanyama or was it one of the guys that's playing currently said that the NBA compared to European basketball is soft.
Yeah, it's less physical. Wemby said that. Lucas said that. Jokic has said that. All the European guys say that, and they're not wrong.
So why would these guys want to go watch the quote unquote best
Well, I mean, they're still the best players on the planet.
Are they? I mean, if they go play in Europe, does that mean that?
Yeah, because we still have guys that like wash out of the NBA, pop up in Europe, and average 27 points a game. So like, it's not you. The NBA is the best league because it has the best players, but the way that they officiate it needs to change. And I think that Adam Silver's been so embarrassed with some of the point totals lately that is changing.
Wouldn't it be fun to see, some like legit world championship, like for baseball or
there's
for
a FIBA.
hockey or
You can't. Keon's told us this before. You can't do that because all the best come to the United States to play, and so then you've got all these lesser people playing out there. I mean, the Koreans are pretty good. The Japanese are pretty good at baseball. But if you really boiled it down, all of the best are here in the United States, and that goes for basketball too, right?
Yeah, It's just if you're good enough to dominate whatever league you happen to be in, and so many of these guys that we see coming from Europe, like we've got a couple more French guys coming in. One is dominating the league in France, and the other one's having a really good season in Australia. Like they're playing in all these other leagues, but when it's time to actually play the best basketball, they come here.
I do have one thing that I'd like to put out there, and I think the World Baseball Classic. I'm more and more intrigued by that because the guys that play in the MLB go to their home countries and play in this World Baseball Classic, and I think these sports are going about it the wrong way. If you want to do this kind of worldwide outreach of basketball, ice hockey, football, you need to kind of follow that model where you release these guys to go play for their countries and really see who's got the best teams out there, who's actually the best in the world. I think that would be a lot of fun. I enjoy the World Baseball Classic immensely because I think it's a lot of fun to see these teams from all over playing, the game, and then you have one champion.
The FIBA tournament it does that, but we see the best during the Olympics because it's hard for Team USA to convince anybody else to go on any non-Olympic year.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I could see that.
Brunswick guy says, "Hey there, don't forget about us Canadians. We're good at basketball too. Also, Canada invented basketball."
But where was it invented?
I'm going to leave that up to you two experts.
Well, Canadian invented it in the United States, Mr. Naismith.
Yeah,
some guy,
but the where I think is very important here.
Pretty sure all the Canadians on the Toronto Raptors. Oh, right. That's it. They're not Canadians. They're Americans playing in Canada.
He's talking about actual Canadian basketball players in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. How many of those are there?
Andrew Wiggins, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
All the ones with weird names. Is that what you're happy about? All the ones with weird names.
There's a few guys. There are quite a few.
Anybody know who the hell Allie Walker is? She's a singer.
Mm-mm.
Randy, I think it might be country music. Do you know who Allie Walker is?
Never heard of her.
Does a song called Creek. And in that song says, "Catch you like a catfish." Bow, 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 bow. I don't know what the hell that means, but somebody thought, well, let's have her come and perform at a Predators game. The Nashville Predators, losing to the Canucks in overtime on Sunday. They blew a 3-1 lead in the final minutes. And they're like, well, I got this girl. She's doing music in the intermission there. She's singing her song, "Catch You Like a Catfish." Then somebody hands her a catfish. They poured a Bud Light in it, and she drank the beer out of a dead catfish.
Oh, boy.
There's a picture right there.
Oh, boy.
That is disgusting. That's unsanitary. But if she'll put that in her mouth.
Why?
I mean,
why?
What?
Just why?
I still wouldn't want anything to do with her.
Yeah, she's
she drank a whole beer out of a dead catfish. Since when did this become a thing?
How do they keep the beer inside the dead catfish?
Well, they just pour it in there, and then towards the tail, then tip the thing back over, and then there comes the beer right out the catfish's mouth.
I figured, she probably sings the country music, and she's from Nashville or something, and people in Nashville, they're wild.
What is
they
wrong
do
with
crazy
people in
things.
Nashville?
But that's not the reason. She's actually
Seems-
Canadian.
Well, that explains a lot. Now I got it.
Look it up.
Wow.
She's Canadian.
So no, they've been doing this for like 20 years. The Nashville Predators fans bring dead catfish to the playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
They throw it on the
Throw it
ice.
on the ice.
Why?
That's their thing.
They're
It's
the
just kinda like-
Predators.
it's like the Red Wings. They throw octopus on the ice.
Nobody wants to eat the octopus. I'll eat some catfish. Why would you throw a perfectly good fat catfish on the ice?
They're big too, man. They're about as big as your
Well,
from your
no,
shoulder,
look at the
from your,
size of this
your
thing.
elbow down to your middle finger. Yeah, they're big.
They probably caught them themselves. Went out to
Probably.
the Tennessee River.
Oh yeah.
A lot of catfish there.
Eat the
You know
damn
what
thing.
catfish eat? They're bottom feeders.
CK says drinking beer out of a dead catfish. I don't care if she's not a man. She deserves man of the day.
Wow.
She needs some
Gross-
shots. She
gross
needs to go
man
to
of the day.
urgent care like immediately.
Not tequila shots either. Yeah.
One more hour left of this nonsense after this.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SAVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SAVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SAVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're expanding your business and need to add to your fleet. Maybe you need another semi-truck or trailer. Don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used trucks and trailers. Whether you're an owner-operator or a fleet manager, I'll get the vehicles you need with a simple application and same-day approval. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353 or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan at an amazing price with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix, 99.3 FM. And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down, because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. We're going to talk football this hour. And I will give you some updates. Right now, the Celtics up 29-18 over the Heat. Fair enough. I mean, we knew the Celtics were going to win this, right? Yeah, pretty much. Just yeah. But let's talk football. Let's talk about football. And I'm really surprised, but the Cowboys have brought back Ezekiel Elliott for a 1-year, $3 million deal, and $2 million of that is guaranteed. I'm a little surprised at that. I mean, he's no longer Ezekiel Elliott. He's not been Ezekiel Elliott since, what do you say, 2018? He just
I mean, this is a solid that I think Jerry's doing for Zeke. He's not going to be their primary RB1 guy.
I don't think Jerry Jones does solids, man. I don't think he just throws $3 million into the wind.
I think he does.
Does he?
If he likes you, if Jerry has it in his head that you're one of his guys, and Zeke and Jerry did get along.
I want to be one of Jerry's guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you can be one of the guys of some rich person, then just then yeah, you're in the group of people that
nothing kinky.
No, it's just you're in the group of people I wouldn't mind cutting a check for.
I mean, maybe a little kinky, but not like really kinky.
Well, I'll leave that up to your discretion.
I think an appropriate amount of kink.
Would you wear some sort of
short shorts? Yes.
Oh,
yeah, I'd wear the short shorts.
But
nothing really kinky.
So
nothing illegal. Nothing illegal.
Would you wash the car in the short shorts?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
There's just nothing about what Ezekiel Elliott did last year in New England that made you think, oh yeah, I'll pay $3 million for that. Why?
Look, man, he's going to be a short down back. They're going to bring him in when it's like, first down and like 1 on the goal line. Here comes Zeke.
That's $3 million.
That's today's rates. I mean, these guys are making
inflation
for a guy that's not an every down guy.
Inflation.
Well, the cap. You have a cap.
But you guys, you got to remember, it's Jerry Jones.
Jones is all in.
He's all in.
Jerry Jones is all in, and he's paying a mediocre quarterback in Dak Prescott $50 million.
You want to hear what you're getting, Keon? You're getting 1 yard per carry average per million. He averages 3.5 yards per carry. That half yard's free.
Just threw it in as a bonus.
That's like a hometown discount.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
No,
they lost. They did nothing but lose talent during free agency. The draft was terrible. Terrible. I'm sitting there looking at the other teams in the NFC East, specifically Philly and New York, and going, damn, I hate what they're doing.
You had a good draft too, though.
They Washington did too. But I'm just saying, as a person watching the other teams in the division, New York and Philly, damn, those guys are cooking. And I'm looking over at Dallas going, what are you guys like? Was the draft room on fire? What are these picks?
Draft room couldn't be. It was $5 billion yacht somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico somewhere.
And that draft class looks like he stumbled off the yacht and made a pick and walked back into the, whatever champagne room or whatever he's got. I just nothing about what the Cowboys are doing in the last several months of this offseason make any sense to me.
You
None
don't see
whatsoever.
my Don Perignon?
Congratulations to Zeke Elliott for just stealing $3 more million on his way out the door.
Yeah, look, he's not paying himself. I don't blame Zeke at all. If they're going to cut that check for you, you take that check, sir.
Now here's one that makes all the damn sense in the world. Travis Kelce and the Chiefs have agreed to a 2-year extension, making him the highest paid tight end in the NFL. The details came out after I printed, and I think it's like a $37 million deal or something. Like he's getting $16-17 million a year or something. Maybe Keon, maybe you can bring that up. But I mean, why wouldn't you? He's still playing at a high enough level. And a couple more years with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes together, all's good. All's good. I don't have any issue with this at all.
I'll be honest. I'm surprised Kelsey's hanging on.
Why does everybody think he wants to retire? I mean, he's never
Well,
said he wants to retire. He says he's thought about what life after football might be like, which is always a good flag to to throw it, just to see, what if they give me some more money if they think I might walk away? You know what I'm saying?
Aaron Donald did it twice.
Right.
He got paid both times.
And Aaron Donald's not making the outside of football income that Travis Kelce is. For a while there, it was Travis Kelce on most every commercial you could see.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be that way again this year.
Yeah, I'm sure. But sometimes it's not about money. Like, guys just like playing football. That's what they know. Their whole life and routine and schedule is around playing football. So, they like the grind, they like the work, and then they like the winning. And Kelce really likes the winning. He's as long as they're Super Bowl contenders, I don't think he's going anywhere.
And trust me, that from that family, if Jason Kelce still had the physical ability to keep playing football, he would not be joining Monday Night Football. He would. I mean, and of course, he's not on Monday Night Football. He's on like the pregame show. I think they got rid of RG3 and they put Jason Kelce in or something. But yeah, he's going to be part of that whole team now.
I said upgrade.
Yeah.
Like I think that Kelce is, he's somebody who loves the game. You can hear it in the way that both of the brothers talk on their podcast about it. They love talking ball, and like that's their biggest priority. And it doesn't matter that they're financially taken care of off the field. This is not just a paycheck to them. They're having fun.
Yeah, Travis Kelce is making money in ads. He's making money in football. He's making money in a podcast. He does not make money dating Taylor Swift. Just because she's got billions doesn't mean that he doesn't still need to make some money. And hey, listen, nobody said they were getting married. What eventually, they break up. He has his own hundreds of millions of dollars. So, by the way, Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce have had a pretty hilarious effect on Taylor Swift's new album. Not just because they're mentioned in songs sort of indirectly, but somebody took a look at it and did the math. Taylor Swift's new album has 5,600% more profanity than her first one.
Wow.
That Jason and Travis Kelce had a little something to do with that.
Oh, because they drop bombs everywhere.
They were a bad influence on her.
S-bombs, all the bombs.
You mean that
in a hilarious way?
When they get done doing the big dirty, she doesn't throw like maybe a couple of 100,000 at him. Say, hey, big boy, that's for today.
No,
no.
I mean, if he does, I'm sure he keeps it.
She doesn't show up with a Maserati in the driveway and a big red bow and says, "This is for the good time we had in Vegas last week."
Travis Kelce is not a kept woman. He's not a kept person. Don't turn this into a pretty woman thing. Hey, I don't like the CBS football show on Sunday morning. I prefer the Fox one. But I'll tell you, I like James Brown of the CBS football show. I like some of that, but they fixed their problems because the two reasons I didn't care for the show are now gone. Boomer Esiason is no longer on.
Bye, Boomer.
The NFL Today, and then Phil Simms was like, "I guess I'll show myself out." Yeah, you're gone. You're gone. And then they brought Matt Ryan in instead. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to have the James Brown. You're going to have Coach Cowher still there, and he's okay. Nate Burleson, yeah, he's really good.
I like him. Yeah.
J.J. Watt's under contract, who's appearing part time. But dude, have you guys seen him lately? He don't look like J.J. Watt no more. He's gotten small.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could take him now. No, I'm serious.
Well,
I saw him in a commercial. It took me a minute to realize who the hell he was. He's so small now. I'm just sizing up J.J. Watt like now's my chance.
Was that the Miller Lite commercial? Because that was a good spot.
Is that it? Yeah, I think so.
Reggie Miller and then J.J. Watt, and I can't think of the other guy, the actor.
Didn't it take you a minute to realize, oh my God, that's J.J. Watt?
No, it didn't for me.
He looked like a wet cat.
Wet cat?
It's all small.
You get outside of an NFL weight room for long enough. you're losing it. I mean, that's not a realistic body type to have.
When
for
I was a
good chunk
kid
of your life,
my mom got me them things you put them in the oven called shrinky dinks. You put them in the oven. The little plastic things, and you color them, and then you put them in the oven, and they cook and they shrink, and then I don't know what the hell. It was like bizarre stained glass crap. But when we were kids, it was a fun toy coloring thing to do, and then you put it in the oven, they'd shrink. You're like, oh my god, that thing that was bigger is now smaller. Now what? Okay, well that was fun. But that's JJ Watt. He's a shrinky dink.
Yeah, any position along the line, defensive and offensive line, all of these people get smaller when they leave because they're to maintain the muscle mass. Well, I mean, yeah, some of them
just keep their mass.
Yeah, but look what happened to that Cleveland Browns. What was his Joe? Cleveland Browns line.
Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas is enormous.
He was huge, and he lost something like 150 pounds
in the year and a half after he retired. Because you have to eat so much for your body to maintain that muscle, to the point where it's not even fun sometimes to eat.
Don't they have some sort of a 5 or 10 or 15,000 calorie diet for those guys?
Well, JJ Watt, most one just posted a picture of JJ Watt in the weight room wearing a t-shirt that says, "I've eaten burritos bigger than you." Well, that's not recent because that commercial, slender. He's very slender.
Didn't he say that to, who did he say that to?
All I know is if I was actually faced with JJ Watt, having said I could probably take him, I'd probably pee myself a little. In real life, I'm sure he's still bigger than me.
He'd probably ask you to back up because he could feel your breath on his nipples. Yeah.
I don't know why I was polishing them.
Not sure why either.
Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Hello, George. He says, sorry I missed the first 2 hours of the show. I just got done with jury duty. They make lawyers be in the jury duty? He says, I didn't get picked for the jury. The defense did not want a former prosecutor there, which is surprising considering I'm probably more strict about the prosecutor meeting their burden of proof since I know all the elements of a crime. Would have been fun too, but, first degree murder always is. Well, back to my mundane corporate law life.
Damn, he got selected for murder one?
Wow. No, he's not doing it. He's not. Wow. They didn't want him.
Big George.
CK says, I think Jerry Jones, he just missed watching, game film, sitting there with Zeke wearing a crop top. That could be it.
Yeah, maybe. Who am I to say?
So many things.
T-Licious just sent a picture of that is funny as hell, T-Licious. It's a picture of an Ewok wearing a crop Ezekiel Elliott jersey. His stomach sticking out, holding a bag of Chick-fil-A. It says Zeke holding out day one of training camp. Oh, I gotta steal this and post that on the Twitters. Thank you. Mr. Wilbur says, are you referring to Mr. Travis Kelce Swift? After all, he will take her name since she's making 10 to 20 times what he'll make every year. Oh, they're not getting married. Bite Micah Bob says, so I've been listening to the show. No, I haven't. I haven't been listening to the show. Sorry about that. So what were your thoughts about Travis Clayton, rugby player with no experience? Does that open a gigantic door for prospects for guys from rugby teams all over the world? Well, I know that the NFL is setting up a sort of like an NFL academy in Australia. And I don't know. Listen, right now when they do undrafted people and they bring them in, they're just throwing stuff against the wall to see what sticks in camp. It doesn't mean they're actually going to make the team. So,
yeah, it's not a guarantee at all that the guy makes the team. Does it open the door for rugby players if he's any good? If he's not, then it might close the door.
That's a good point. Brunswick guy says, Randy, are you implying that Travis Kelce's a male prostitute? For shame. He's a good, wholesome guy.
No, I'm just saying, Taylor just wants to thank him for the wonderful time that they had together.
Man, I wish my wife would throw money at me. Baker's Cocky Hen says Zeke can mouth rewind.
Are you having a stroke right now?
Zeke can pass block as well as any back in the league. There is value there. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He won't make anyone miss anymore, but he's a consummate pro and a leader. And you're mad about $3 million? His stats aren't that bad, and he had no quarterback last season, so the boxes were stacked.
He was bad before Dallas let him walk.
That's why they let him walk.
Yeah, let's not act like
When he
Zeke was
had a
just,
quarterback.
He was just bad in New England. Like he was not. And I'm looking at this depth chart for Dallas, and having a good blocking running back is obviously important. It just helps if the guy's also good at running. He has to be good at that part. And yeah, $3 million is a lot when you consider all the other gaps on this team that they didn't fill financially. Like that just seems like a waste. Your priority can't be Zeke Elliott and bringing him back. Blocking tight end. Why don't you fix your offensive line? Or he's gonna get run over trying to block people. The offensive line is a problem right now.
Against the Spread says, I just tuned into the show. Did Randy just accuse Travis Kelce of being a personal $250,000 gigolo for Taylor Swift? Or did I lose that in translation? If that's true, Travis Kelce gets in more than one Hall of Fame. Yeah, I would say I'd say that's right. I'd say that's correct. So you think he's a hooker, huh?
No, I just
don't know how anyone heard that.
I think Taylor Swift is very appreciative of his, unique talents.
So you think that he's not a male prostitute, but she's inclined to say, "Here, go get yourself something pretty."
Maybe,
and maybe leave a little money on the side table there.
All I can say is
that makes him a whore.
No, I don't think so at all. No.
You
I
think
think
Travis Kelce's a whore?
No, I don't think so at all. No, I think he's very happy in this relationship, and I think that Taylor Swift wants to give him some earthly goods. That's all. For the good time that he shows her.
I would almost bet that the only thing Taylor Swift has given Travis Kelce. Okay, well, I can't say those things, but maybe she's made him some cookies. Maybe she's made him some breakfast. Maybe she's given him a sweater. Maybe typical boyfriend-girlfriend stuff.
Sure.
I don't think she's dropping a couple hundred G's. No, Moist One. I don't think she's giving him herpes.
Wow.
She's not a Kardashian.
No. No.
Just because she has billions of dollars doesn't mean she's tipping her boyfriend.
I was just going to say, it's not a tip. I think she's like, I'm very appreciative of you. And
he'll give her the whole thing. All right.
No, maybe I should just retract the statement and we should move on. I mean, you buy your wife, nice little things, and I'm sure she buys you things. I buy Miss Kim baubles all the time. I'm always give her, some pretty little things,
Yeah. So here's the difference. Hey, here's a nice bracelet I thought you might like, and here's a couple $100,000, whore. It's just two different things.
I don't see it like that because when you are like a multi-billionaire like Taylor Swift is, a couple $100,000, that's like a couple $100 to you and I.
Moist One says, just because she has millions doesn't make her immune to herpes. She seems like a nice girl, Moist One. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
Ringless Joe says, Kevin Durant said he never felt comfortable with his role on the team. Bro, why did you wait until after you got swept to say that?
Well, because
why 20 minutes into us talking to football stuff are you bringing this up again?
Yeah, and those are reports. He didn't tell anybody that. Yeah. So who knows if he said that before?
And now we're talking about whether or not Taylor Swift gave Travis Kelce herpes or not. That's the important football stuff we're talking about right now.
No, but okay. All right.
Oily Stool says maybe Taylor Swift gave Travis Kelce crabs. Like Ralph.
If they went out to dinner, sure. I mean, I could see, some baked crab, a little butter. Some fine romantic restaurant, maybe a guy in the corner.
You'd be so lucky.
Like a grand piano. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. By the way, the live roast of Tom Brady, that's this weekend. That's
Excuse me?
May 5th.
When did this happen?
That's
Who-
Sunday night at 5 p.m. It's going to be
So-
live on Netflix.
If they know this is happening, do they have a SWAT team? Do they have like the FBI and the CIA and the ABC and do they have the Homeland Security ready to go? Are they going to strike this place?
Have you ever seen a
who
roast,
let-
Randy?
What?
Have you ever seen a roast?
What,
Like a bunch of guys sit in the
It's not-
room and they make jokes about you. That's all that is.
Oh.
Yeah, a roast is a group of friends and or celebrities telling jokes about each other, and it's can be
Why would
raunchy, and it gets personal, and people get, but everybody it's just all fun. They say we only roast the ones we love.
Why? What? I thought it was like a tribe of cannibals.
This is not like the Salem witch trials, Randy. That was a completely different kind of roast.
I'll just go over here and fall back asleep. I do apologize.
Yeah. So, you gonna watch this? Anybody gonna watch this?
I don't have Netflix.
No,
I can't afford that.
Probably not.
I love a good roast. All I know is Jeff Ross is doing it, Kevin Hart, but I don't know who the rest of the people are.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, a little Kevin Hart.
They're going to give him like some sort of a box to stand on. So
I would imagine yes,
because he's short.
Yeah, I know he knows too.
All right.
If I were producing the roast, I would have the podium be a little tall, and the microphone be one of those bendy things you have to go, just pull it down.
Absolutely.
That would just be me.
That'd make it even more funny.
Oh my God, we're late for a break. When we come back, more football stuff. Hopefully, more football stuff. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
As the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs continue, the Carolina Hurricanes are the betting favorite to win it all. The Canes at plus 460, while the Edmonton Oilers are plus 480. The last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup was 1993 Montreal Canadiens. The Florida Panthers are plus 550 to win the Cup. The Avalanche plus 600 to win their second Cup in 3 seasons. The New York Rangers are plus 650. They last won the Stanley Cup in 1994. The Boston Bruins, who last won the Cup in 2011, are plus 900 to win the championship. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Free. Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan at an amazing price with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you need equipment for your business but don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used equipment. Excavators, forklifts, dozers, tractors, cranes, plows, and more. If it's essential to your business, I will help you get the money you need. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And of course, the other night we did our draft show last Thursday, right? And it was very well received. People enjoyed it very much. Yeah. And probably even more so when Randy and I stepped aside. But, 6 hours of draft goodness. Now, I have a bunch of stuff about the draft, but now I'm like, I don't know how the hell we're going to get to that today. So maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Kind of take a look at our teams and see how they did. I mean, I think we all had pretty good drafts. I mean, but you never know until season starts and the players play before you can either brag about your draft or feel good about it. You know, some of these guys ain't going to make the team. So we'll talk about more of that tomorrow. Big George says he listened to the Weekend Warriors show on Saturday morning for the first time this past weekend. Says, hey, that's actually a pretty good show. He said, I was shocked at how coherent Neil was talking about the NFL draft, complete opposite of Thursday night. Neil said it was because he was intimidated by Jeffrey O'Brien.
He did say that.
Ralph laughed and said, there's nothing intimidating about Jeffrey O'Brien. And I guess apparently Neil is afraid of Jeffrey. Huh. I don't even know the guy. Why would he be intimidated by me?
I mean, you do put off sort of a superhero vibe.
He said it's because you got a big personality. And just the personality, I don't know. I don't get it. I just think that every person's just
you're used to me.
So you're just but I don't know. I just don't get intimidated by people.
Yeah, Keon has never been impressed by me. So he was the very beginning. He's just like, yeah, whatever, hire me if you want, but I got crap to do. I think that was the last thing he said when we had that interview with him, Randy. Hire me, don't hire me. I got crap to do.
Think I said that.
Quit asking me to do free shows.
Either crap or get off the pot. Hire me or don't. I don't care, but I got things to do.
I don't believe I said that. No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way it was.
I just don't
may
recall
have been a
that.
different couple of words here or there, but yeah,
almost an entirely different sentence.
I don't think so. That's not. I kind of wrote it down.
Moist one thinks it was sexual tension.
Moist one thinks everything is sexual tension.
Yeah, for him it would have been sure. So yeah, I know. I mean, I've been telling you guys that Weekend Warrior show is okay. How did your show go this weekend? Do you get lonely?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. See, Ralph has had Randy on the show.
Yeah, but that was to talk NASCAR.
Still, have you had anybody on the show, Keon?
I have not.
I haven't been invited. You've been invited, Randy?
Well, no. I haven't had anybody on the show. No one's been invited because I have not invited anybody.
It is called Uninterrupted Keon Rose.
No, it's called Without Interruption.
There's
if he had you on as a guest, you wouldn't interrupt. That would be the rule.
I wouldn't. I mean, I would have to interrupt all the time.
Well, then he's never going to invite you.
If you felt like you had to, that would be.
Like, I guess.
I think the power move is where Keon invites somebody, and it's like, okay, the rules are you're not allowed to interrupt, right? You're like, okay, and then he just talks the entire show, and the other person's sitting there like.
Keon asked one question. And for the next 55 minutes, this guy's talking.
Oh, that'd be the flip of that. That'd be funny too. Poor Keon then doesn't get a chance to talk at all.
We got to take a break. Okay, then I'll continue my answer on the other side.
He will never have anybody on the show now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pretty much scared away everybody now. Yeah.
Guaranteed uninterrupted.
We'd have to change the name of the show.
Ringless Joe says, I think the Cardinals can overperform this season and get the wild card spot. Marvin Harrison Jr. is legit. Kyler Murray isn't as bad as people make him out to be because he's short. Doesn't mean he's bad. He's as tall as Russell Wilson. No, he's not. No, he's not. God damn it. No, he's not. I don't care what they lied about on the paper. He's a good 5 inches shorter than him.
5 inches?
Okay, that's a lot. I don't know about that.
I mean, that's quite a bit, Jeffco.
I close to it.
I realize to
I
you,
stand by it. I said what I said.
Everything looks much smaller in your eyes because of how large you are. But I mean,
I've eaten burritos bigger than him.
Well,
Beer Bob says, I believe Peyton Manning has done other roasts, so he'd better be on the Tom Brady roast. Demi Moore was on the roast for Bruce Willis, so I think it'd be great to see Gazelle Bundich in there. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
if they
I
have
think
a
it's
good
too
enough
fresh,
relationship to do it,
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to be there.
I mean, Demi Moore and Bruce Willis stayed friends, and even now they're friends. In fact, I think they all, him and his new wife and Demi Moore and whoever they hunkered down for COVID together. So, and now he's all dimensioned and whatever. Against the Spread says, hey, I want to get your guys' take on the Bears' 4th round draft pick. They took a punter. He's probably the best punter I've seen in the last 20 years. Keep in mind, this dude punted at Iowa, blasted the ball, and could pin the ball inside. I did the math, and during his career at Iowa, he punted the ball halfway around the world. Is a punter worth a 4th rounder? You know what? The only time I think a punter is worth a 4th round pick is if you've got all your other positions nailed.
Yeah.
You know, they
I
got
agree.
their quarterback, they got a receiver. I don't know what else they needed, but they better have had every single one of their other positions nailed before they got this punter in the 4th round.
And usually the first 3 rounds these are the guys we think are going to be important starters. So if you draft a guy in the 4th to be a punter, I don't know. I just don't see the problem with that. At that point, a lot of teams are just drafting guys that they hope can make the roster. So if you're drafting a punter because you think he might actually make the roster, don't draft him in the 3rd. That's insane. But you know, if you're
was there
in the
scuttlebutt
4th
this guy
round,
was
though?
going to get drafted before the 5th?
I hadn't heard anything about it, but if they were high on him and they just wanted to make sure, hey, look, let's go ahead and get our guy that can flip the field and make possessions harder for our opponents.
Yeah, all I know is I don't want to be the Bears' 5th round pick. You guys drafted a punter before me?
Well, if you're
What?
a 5th round pick, you shouldn't even worry about the punter. You should try to make the team because you're not
Yeah.
guaranteed
Yeah.
that when
Still,
you're drafted
talk
at
about
that point in the draft.
Stab me right here.
Just go ahead and just. I mean, I don't know. If
Oily
you're Brock
stool.
Purdy, you went behind. You were drafted after many punters.
Well, that's different. That's different.
Yeah, I'm just saying that chip's going to be there if it's there.
Oily Stool says, when are we going to have a roast of Ralph on 1580 Fanatic? Well, you say we only roast the ones we love, so Ralph won't be low. Baker's Cocky Hen says, gang members must have put a hit out on J.J. Watt. He lost that weight as a form of self-induced witness protection.
But he
Wow,
still
that's-
kept his name and went on
That's a
TV.
story.
I don't
And
know,
we
man.
want Dallas to suck, don't we, guys?
I mean,
the Cowboys
think,
or
I think after this draft, they probably will suck pretty bad.
I don't think I have to wish very hard. Let me put it that way.
I'd say they got enough on the draft. We'll talk more about those things later on. By the way, Bill Belichick, I thought he was going to be like a studio guy or something. He was just like, I don't want to be a studio guy. And I'm just a little bit surprised that Peyton and Eli Manning have talked Bill Belichick in a recurring role on their show, on the Manning Cast. That just seems the opposite of what you'd expect Bill Belichick to do.
Our Bill Belichick, this guy right here,
so,
this guy.
Right, Mark. I thought that there were.
Yeah, that's him.
Leonard.
Wow.
And he's going to be on the Manning Cast. And see, we all know this when he's serious and he's in an interview, he's monotone and monolithic and all that stuff. But anytime you've ever seen him really just sit down and talk to somebody he wants to talk to, he's very gregarious and he, is very smart and he tells great stories. In fact, during the draft, he was telling a story about Randy Moss and all that stuff. He was like, wow, Bill's really, people are not used to this. So I guess Bill Belichick thought, well, what better way to let people know
Then I'll just sit down with these knuckleheads, you know? And so
I had no idea that Bill Belichick was at one time part of the church.
I'm sorry?
You said he was a Gregorian, I believe. Is
No,
what you said.
Gregorian, not Gregorian.
Didn't know that.
Not
he
like
was,
the calendar.
But, I mean, the way he talks,
No,
I could see that. But, that's like kind of the Gregorian sort of chanting thing. I could see that.
No. You'll see. What was that? The NFL 100 thing where they were sitting down around a table talking about stuff? It doesn't sound like this at all.
Yeah, it's like the 100 greatest players, and then they
whether you just talk. You can just turn that off now, right?
Anytime. Yeah.
So Patrick Mahomes, I don't think he understands how TV works. He, how Travis Kelce's been on Saturday Night Live, and he's like, I ain't doing Saturday Night Live. And, well, you're doing commercials. You're doing your stuff. It's like, yeah, but I got a fear. I got a fear of teleprompters. He says, I got scarred when I gave a speech at the 2023 ESPYs, and ever since then, I don't want anything to do with the teleprompter, so I'm not going to be on Saturday Night Live.
Well, he did go to Texas Tech.
Did anybody explain to him that they don't use teleprompters on Saturday Night Live? They use cue cards, sexual cards. There's a guy who holds the card. You don't have to follow the teleprompter. They just hold up the card. You just read it.
It's probably the same thing for him. He probably has a hard time reading, and he just didn't want it to come out. Think
he's dyslexic?
Maybe.
No, I think he went to college in Lubbock.
Yeah, he did go to college in Lubbock. If you've ever been to Lubbock,
was he supposed to go somewhere else and just read the map wrong?
I mean,
yeah, I think so.
Maybe, but then they didn't teach you better in Lubbock on account of it's Lubbock.
I mean,
reading is not exactly the strong suit of.
Think he thought he was going to University of Texas Longhorns, and
took
when
a
he
wrong
showed up
turn somewhere.
in Lubbock, he was surprised and sort of shanghaied into going to Texas Tech. So.
Against the Spread says, great answer, fellas. By the way, Keon is the biggest upgrade in sports talk radio history. Remember that horse-killing son of a bitch, degenerate gambler that used to have Keon's seat? What was his name? I called him Mush, like the dude from the Bronx Tale. That guy killed more horses than the U.S. government when they killed Chief Joseph's horse herd.
Wow. Damn.
I can't argue with that at all. I think that's accurate right there. Mr. Pink Eye says, when will you guys have a baseball draft show? It's going to be on the 10th of Never. 888-368-1580. Oh, hey, guys. Did you know that the Arena Football League is coming back and Arizona's going to have a team? Did you know that?
The Rattlers.
Yeah. No. The Rattlers, not them. The Outlaws.
Oh.
The Rattlers are indoor football league.
Yeah. This is arena football.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, it's I don't know.
They play arena football inside, and
I don't know what the difference
is.
I don't know what the difference is,
but here's the difference: the NFL Network is going to air these games. It's a 7-on-7 league, and this is much bigger. This is much bigger than whatever those guys. This is the Arizona Outlaws.
So the Outlaws are coming back.
You're damn right they are.
Sweet.
I'm actually looking forward to this one.
I hope they have the sweet helmets that they had back in the day.
Well,
that copper helmet, and they had that cool Wrangler branding iron, and they had the stem that went back, and it was sick looking. Then they had these the jerseys with the Arizona flag on each shoulder. Oh, it was badass.
Yeah,
look it up. It was badass.
Wait, what was that team called?
The Arizona Wranglers.
Oh, I wonder if that's where they are. I mean, maybe it's the Wranglers. Maybe I got that wrong.
Wranglers.
I saw a thing on that. Hold on here. Let me just check my thing here. I had a thing. Oh crap! I'll check during the break and then I'll tell you because I saw a thing about it, and in the arena football is going to be on NFL Network, and it's coming back. It's coming back a year from now. So that I'm looking forward to that. I'll tell you more about it when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing.
This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Need a boost in capital or a flexible line of credit for your growing business? Hi, I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital. I can help you get the money you need fast. The process is a breeze with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need faster and easier than asking your banker. So call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. Court-appointed special advocates, known as CASAs, are assigned to children as advocates during their experience in the foster care system. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about court-appointed special advocates. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
Diamond Dave Cantor here. Do you do anything the same way you did in 1989? In 1989, you went to the library. Now you Google it. In 1989, you went to a payphone or the kitchen to make a call. Now it's in your pocket. In 1989, you wrote and mailed a letter. Now you email or text. And in 1989, you went to the mall or an old-timey jewelry store and paid full retail. Oh, wait, some of you are still doing this? In 1989, my dad sold his 22-store chain to the big guys, so I decided to use our worldwide connections and production capacity to serve clients. But in person, one-on-one, later adding online, later adding text, and later adding Instagram. Importing and working in professional offices, I turned the industry upside down and cut out 5 layers between you and the diamonds. So you can stop by Orange Julius and the arcade on your way to pay 3 to 10 times what you should at the mall or a traditional store, or you can come see me and our diamond experts and buy the right way, the new way, the Desert Wholesale Diamond way.
Call 480-397-2450 or follow Dave on Instagram at Diamond Dave, KANTOR.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Right now, the Celtics are up 53-36 over the Heat, and they are at halftime. Didn't the other game start? The Pelicans and Oklahoma City Terrorists or Bombers, what are they called? Thunder. Is that game started yet?
Yeah, Thunder are up 13-10 on the Pelicans.
All right, yeah, that's just a little bit into the first quarter right there. So, okay. 888-368-1580. So, boy, I gave you guys all sorts of misinformation. It's not the Wranglers. It's not the it's not any of them. It's the Arizona Bandits. The Arizona Bandits, Randy.
What?
That is who the arena football team is going to be.
The hell?
Starts in April of next year. What the hell?
And the reason why I think is
Bandits?
because the indoor football league has a team called the Wranglers, so I don't think they can do that one. The Northern Arizona Wranglers are already an indoor football league team.
Gotcha. All right, well, Bandits, that's a pretty good name. That's a pretty good name. But see, the fact that the NFL is involved means that these are going to be aired on the NFL Network. So looking forward to seeing what they do with that. And hey, at least Arizona's got a team, so that's nice. 888-368-1580. So you remember the complaints about officiating in the NFL? The complaints about the officiating, they're like, oh, you know what we need? We need full-time referees. Now, I say that the money these guys are making part-time is full-time money. So, they should be giving us, their all and doing better. But, that's not what the
referees union says, right? So now Roger Goodell comes out and says, we don't need full-time officials. You know what we need? More technology. He says, we did some of that full-time officiating before COVID, and then we stopped it during COVID. We realized there was no difference. Says it doesn't mean we got it all right. We still look at it, but I'm sitting back and I'm watching a lot of playoff basketball and hockey, and I'm hearing about officials, and all those guys are full-time. So my only point is it's a human game. It's a fast game, blah, blah, blah. Basically, he's saying we don't need full-time officials. We need more technology to help them. It's interesting. If you feel the same way about the umpires in baseball, more technology, the robot umps. I don't know how the NFL, how much the technology would affect that. Maybe embracing the chips in the ball to help, make sure you get the first downs right without a shadow of a doubt. Did they or didn't they? That's a question a lot of times. Where the line is marked, where the position is marked by the chains and these sticks, and then you're watching him walk from the sideline. You're like, dude's not walking in a straight line. Where the hell's he going with that thing? It's all perception. It's all the angle you see it at. So I don't know. Maybe he's got a point. Maybe Goodell has a point about what they need to do to make officiating better.
I mean,
maybe it's embracing the technology and having ways of determining some of these that you can't determine holding, but position of ball, and then taking a quicker look at it. Is that pass interference or not? Maybe have an AI involved somehow.
Those things would certainly help, but it does just help to have the guys get the calls right in the first place.
They can't see everything all at the same time. And as he says, it's a fast game. Things move fast. Sometimes you're looking over here, something happens there, you didn't see it, and then everybody's angry at you.
The fact is, the officiating has gotten worse, though. So it's not just the speed of the game, and a lot of that is we're looking at a lot of these officials. The ones that are any good usually get hired by a TV network, and they're gone, and they're not on the field making the calls that are the correct ones, and so you're having to constantly replace. So there's just got to be this. I do think that technology is going to help, but if you don't get the right people, all the technology in the world is not going to do you any good.
You can lessen some of the damage, but there'll still be really bad calls by humans.
And
maybe get rid of the humans altogether and have AI referees. So you got these robot things out there that can see a wide field. So now they can watch everybody. They're not just watching one place. They're watching all places, kind of like Madden. You know what I'm saying? Where you see everything.
Yeah, I mean, once we can get to the point, I guess, where we trust artificial intelligence with some of those decisions, because, it's not, you can see artificial intelligence do things in other places, and it's not great.
You're right.
There's still some learning that's got to go on there in that aspect. We are not at the replace the humans part of this exactly yet. You still need people. And those people are the people making the initial call.
The change has to be made that they can be held accountable. That is cheaper than trying to get a bunch of technology, build millions and millions of dollars into the technology. Isn't it cheaper to have accountability? And then these guys are doing a better job and maybe studying a little longer and maybe spending more time honing their craft.
I mean, yeah, I do think that maybe there's a swap there that you do to say, hey, look, can we have some accountability in exchange for what? Do you want more money? The NFL's not strapped for cash, but whatever trade-off needs to happen to make that work. But without giving them something, because right now that the union protects them, you're going to have to trade it for something. I'm sure that's just generally how that goes.
Well, I just, again, in every sport, whether it's baseball, it's basketball, it's the only one you never hear about is hockey. But, the unions have way too much power when it comes to the referees and the umpires.
And
something's got to change,
because I just find that the bigger a sport is, for whatever reason, the worse the officiating is.
Well, there was a great example of that. They should have used technology the other day when the Yankees were playing the Brewers, and Judge was sliding into second base trying to trying to break up a double play, and his hand went up and blocked the ball from the shortstop who was coming across the bag, that tagged the bag. So Judge was now out and was throwing to first base, and Judge got his hand up and blocked the ball. There was a conference out there on the field. They ultimately made the wrong call on the play. The Yankees went on to score 7 more runs, and they beat the brakes off the Brewers. And then after the game, after reviewing tape, they realized that they got the call wrong. Now, why didn't they just take a timeout and review the tape of him sliding into second base there? An unnatural motion to his sliding. He had his hand straight up in the air.
Did anybody request that review?
Well, obviously Pat Murphy, the Brewers coach, wanted them to talk about it because he said that that was an unnatural motion of his sliding, and he was interfering with the play. You can go in hard at second base. You can try to quote unquote break it up, but you can't block the ball with any part of your body. You can't take the guy down. You can slide long and try to interrupt his rhythm. But why didn't they use technology there? I'm just dumbfounded. Why don't they use the technology to eliminate guys like Angel Hernandez making, calling balls and strikes? I mean, I don't understand what the holdup is. We have the technology. It's been in use. Why are we not utilizing it?
Because I'm thinking that the union for the umpires is probably against that stuff, and they're always going to push back against the technology that will eventually replace them.
Well, then there's got to be some sort of a standard set so that guys like Angel Hernandez and these human mistakes that are really costing teams big in
too much power.
There's got to be some sort of standard set where Major League Baseball could say, yeah, Angel Hernandez, bye. We're using this on plays.
These are days that, say what you will, I miss Ronald Reagan because he would have come in, well, you sons of bitches, you are fired. And then everybody did all the bad referee and umpires would go home. Sure, he did a lot of bad and some would say evil things. But I remember when he fired the air traffic controllers for striking.
Yeah.
Angel Hernandez, you suck. All it would take. Ronnie wouldn't put up with that.
You are out of here, Angel. I'm throwing you out of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1934, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Philadelphia Phillies became the last 2 major league franchises allowed to play home games on Sundays, when the Bucks beat the Cincinnati Reds 9-5 at Pittsburgh Ford Field. A lot of stuff nobody cares about. Games on the Lord's Day were no longer prohibited in Pennsylvania as of 1934 because of the blue laws. Blue laws, Moist One, because I know the next thing you're going to say. Blue laws, they had prevented such events from being played on Sundays over religious concerns. So now fast forward to now, sports has become our religion. So I guess that's the difference here, almost 100 years later.
All right.
Against the Spread says, sorry to have a negative text, but there's a reason I told nobody ever to bet on the Suns. Dude, we were trying to forget about this.
We were this close to the end of the show and not
whole hour of football.
Just we could have dropped that bad news in hour 1. We could have done that.
Yeah.
He says, I told you guys around February they were a sycophantic lazy man's team that didn't have the little things to win. My instinct tells me that the Timberwolves tanked the last regular season game so they could play the Suns. I don't know about that. Maybe not. But yeah.
No, because I don't think that Anthony Edwards has tank anywhere in his DNA.
No.
That guy doesn't lose anything on purpose.
He's running around on broken ankles.
Oh, yeah.
Good Cat says, Randy, Major League Baseball too focused on the nets to make proper decisions on technology.
That's true. You know
what? Isn't a net? Aren't the nets also technology?
No, they're just they're like chicken coop wiring.
Like I've always said, necessary to protect dumb people from themselves.
Well, that's true, I guess.
You just have to accept it. You know, people are dumb. And it's too expensive to keep patching up their faces when they get hit by a foul ball.
And then try to sue you.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
That's the part that makes the Nets
a
thing that teams want.
Establish a federal law that if you get beamed in the face by a foul ball in the park and they see the video and they see one of these, you can't sue anybody. Nobody's paying for anything. You know, if you're watching the game, paying attention, and that ball gets you, ooh, that's unfortunate. Now I feel bad for it.
The guy that put his glove out.
Take care of that guy.
He put his glove out in the wrong spot, went right past his glove, and hit him in the face.
Just like the guy last week in the donkey and the noggin. But if you're just not paying attention, those are the people those nets are for. To keep the Diamondbacks from have to pay millions of dollars every couple of weeks to some idiot.
I get you.
It's all about society has done this, Randy. So embrace the Nets.
Well, I don't have to, but
give a net a hug.
I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and I agree.
It all boils down to how dumb people are.
Yep.
You gonna watch any basketball tonight, guys? I feel like maybe I want to watch Denver beat the Lakers, so I feel better.
Yeah, I might tune that one in.
Celtics up 58-36, back into the third quarter, whooping the Heat, and the Pelicans and the Thunder keeping it close. It's Thunder 21, Pelicans 19 right now.
Pelicans about to get swept.
Yeah, they're only like a couple points back right now, Keon.
Oklahoma City is just much better than them. It's just
I get you. But they're hanging in there.
Yeah, the Pelicans don't have Zion, so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, so much for that. They're about to get swept. See you guys tomorrow. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.